Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another night of NSE Rocket League here on Rocket Kingdoms. I am Princey, and I am joined once again by the brilliant Drumzels.
How you doing?
And we have some interesting games, not the usual National League that we bring to you, but instead we have the regional playoffs, and we are bringing you the Northern playoffs more specifically here tonight with two semifinals and then the grand final following in later on. But first off, it is Scout Sports versus Rocket League. Rocket Leeds, sorry, yes, not Rocket League.
Yeah, it's two teams that have had quite a bit of success this season in the upper echelons of Northern League, and while they never broke up into a Challenger League during the league play, they came very, very close multiple times. Scout Sports in particular, in week 4 they made that decider game, but they lost out just narrowly to Lincoln. And I mean, Scenarius was saying just before we went live that all of these teams they're pretty much level. Pretty much any of them could have been they could have made National League at any time, and they are part of the reason why it was so difficult to get all the way up there during the later half of the season.
Yeah, it's always been. I mean, we know the North's always been a bigger battle, as some would say, than the South or the Southern equivalent. So the South have stepped up recently, but you still have that competitive edge in the North. And then on the other end here with Rocket Leeds, these guys, they've never made it to the playoff game, but they've always been close. They've always been to the semi-finals and then just been pipped back. But they're going to hope for once that they can get past that semi-final blip, push through to the finals here with a win over Scout Sports. But they're going to have a bit of a tough ask to do that, you would think so. Because although these teams have never played each other, I think most people would expect Scout Sports to push through on this one.
See, I'm not too sure because, as part of the whole process for this, they had to get the rank submissions out of all of the players, and Rocket Leeds have a much higher average MMR than Scout Sports. But that doesn't quite translate to how the team synergizes, and you can tell that Scout Sports, they are the number 1 seed in this final Northern bracket, and that just is a testament to how well they can play together as a team.
Yeah, so that would be probably what we're looking for then in terms of the difference between these two teams. Maybe it'd be more individual plays versus the team, like synergy in the team performance. But it'd be interesting to see that. And as the teams have been waiting here a little while, I think it's about time to get this underway. Do you not think so?
Oh, I'd say so, definitely, yeah.
All right, so game 1, Scout Sports versus Rocket League. So let's go. Sorry to cut you off there, Drums.
Not at all. I was just going to ask, what way could you see this first best of 7 series going?
Well, I think I predicted 4-2. I might have to remind myself with a quick check on our graph. But I think I went 4-2 to Scout Sports, and if that is correct, I'm going to stick with that now.
See, I think went the other way, and I went 4-2 in favor of Rocket Leeds.
Okay. Just so everyone at home knows, Scout Sports is Liverpool John Moores University. Just in case you didn't realise the Scouse-Liverpool connection that I guess for all foreigners might not have.
One of the two Liverpool universities that's really stepped up and kind of come out of nowhere this season, because neither of these teams actually existed before the beginning of this NSE season. And both of them have got on to some serious success, this team and Arctic Foxes. So a couple of teams to keep an eye on in the upcoming seasons. But quite an even game starting out so far. DX has an awkward clear. He's just going to be centered for Cosmic, but Cosmic just 15 in front of the net. Stock's going to try and bounce it off the ceiling and in, but DX makes the awkward save. Picks up the boost on the way. He's going to get a hit on this, but doesn't quite make the connection. Cosmic, that's a slow roller back towards an open net. If he can get the hit, he does. Cosmic opens up the scoreline for Scout Sports.
Yeah, just a big miss coming out there, and sadly his teammate was pushed up, couldn't reach back in time. A good early lead coming out here for Liverpool. Had a bit more of the pressure, in fact had all the pressure. What's interesting, Cosmico's on 130 ping, we might have a problem with this server. I'm not too sure on that. But Lukey, we're coming through here, ties this one up. And we are now 1-1. Stock could not make the connection, just goes under him.
It's a nice little late hit. Almost a
Luke
fake.
Or is it Lukey? It's probably Luke, isn't it?
I'm going to go with Luke.
Yeah.
But, I mean, whatever it is, it's a lovely equalizer. Just beating out the defender, getting a little bit too low for him to deal with. Almost puts another one on target there. That's good save and good clear away by Pred. It's going to bounce straight down into the path of DX. Pred can only get the hit straight back out to Luke, who's struggling for boost a bit. Good challenge from Soups. Sorry, Stock. Now, Stock sends it straight back up the field. Soups on the 50, manages to get it. Luke's up nice and high, but again, wasted a lot of boost. Doesn't quite get the connection, and that's Cosmic. Open to the counter-attack. DX fakes it out once again. Just leaves it for Soups, who can only get a soft tap back down towards Pred. A lot of pressure forming here, but nothing really amounting from this Rocket League side. Rocket League side.
You fall into the same trap.
I have.
Yeah, it's a bit of a one we'll have to get used to. It's like us for Keel, Rock Eel Tears. It was
yeah,
you know, one that
I mean, you start saying Rocket League, you just want to finish it off and say Rocket League.
Oh, this one almost sneaking through though. So definitely good pressure coming out here from the lead side. They're just keeping the Scout Sports team stuck a little bit right now. This might be in part to Cosmico's unfortunate ping that actually seems to have suddenly resolved itself. So maybe not. Maybe he is okay after all now. Even so, they have been doing some great pressure. That's a nice little pass down though. And now, hopefully, for Scout Sports' sake, they can bring this ball forwards and get a little bit going at their own end. As after the early minute, it's not been too much going for him.
It's a lovely carry up the pitch from DX, all on his own nose, but manages not to get a shot on target from it. It's just a slow roller back towards Stock. Luke looking for the demo, but doesn't quite find it. Now, that's going to drop down for DX. Cosmic, fantastic speed. Shuts that down immediately. Now Soups off the corner. Stock, that's going to slowly drop towards net, but Luke manages to get there first. Can't get the second tap. That's going to go up straight down for Pred. And a fantastic finish.
Yeah, Luke, good clear off to the side, but it doesn't hit the corner. And Pred gets a great hit across the ball. Cuts that one fine. Maybe just throws the keeper off slightly. 2-1 now. Cosmico still having problems. Not too sure if it's his own internet or if it is indeed the server. I think we will do everything we can to try help him out on that one to make this an even playing field. But for now, his team are ahead. And a crazy pinch just there. Almost leading to another opportunity for them.
I was saying earlier that Scout Sports' team synergy might be the one thing that they have over Rocket Leads here. And they're certainly showing it. They're looking a lot more calm, collected, and composed. As Cosmic gets another great shot attempt onto net, but just blocked out early. Soups gets the demo onto Stock. DX can't make
Big double
that.
commit.
Yeah, Pred's going to have that straight down towards net, but nothing coming of it. DX with no boost. Sends it straight back to Stock. Goes that to the middle, but only Luke is waiting. Doesn't get the hit he's looking for, and a team bump coming out from Cosmic onto Pred. That's going to live another chance over to Soups. Soups can't get that strange hit from Pred. Baits out one of the defenders, but one of his own teammates as well with the follow-up hit. And some good chances once again for Scout Sports, but Rocket Leeds having the majority of the pressure so far.
With 14 seconds to go, this one getting a bit hot under the collar maybe. For the last few seconds it goes. It is in the right side of the pitch though for Scout Sports. The clock will count down. It's actually kept up by Cosmico. This only has to hit the ball now and Scout Sports take game one. I think we will have a server reset just in case.
Yeah, it looks like Cosmic's having issues
for the sake of Cosmico, but let's hope that this isn't a reoccurring issue throughout this series. If it is, they're doing well so far. They've taken the first game. I mean, to be honest, Leeds, although they had a lot of pressure, there wasn't really much going for them.
Yeah, I think they found themselves with possession and a lot of time in the middle quite a lot, but getting that first key touch, trying to set up the attack, that's what they struggled with. So a few times they had some good chances, but they kind of squandered them before they could even get anything going. But Scout Sports, they're starting to find... I mean, they started off finding some more of these team plays. They started off looking for each other more and getting a bit more success on just setting up pressure as opposed to, hitting the ball at net and hoping. So I think definitely that team play that I was talking about coming out in spades so far. But, I mean, despite the ping issues that Cosmic was having, they've still got the one game advantage here.
Yeah, this is a best of 7 after all, so it is a long slog, as you would say, but always taking the first game gives you that little bit of comfort, that little bit of, we don't have to be so on edge. Now it's up to Leeds to come back and show their true sort of worth and show everyone why they've made it to this point. It was still a close game, 2-1. I think if the one thing Leeds were missing was just those connections between players. Like, they had the breakdown, but it was that last pass or that last centre ball, that was just missing. It was always to no one, or it was just to a Scouse player, which, to be fair, it could be down to the Scouse defending, setting themselves up in the right spots. We will have to wait and see as this series progresses whether there is an evolution into the play styles of these teams. Maybe a few more demos coming out here and there as well. But we will just be waiting, hopefully not too long, on the lads from Liverpool, John Moores, to return, as I think Cosmico is indeed resetting his router as well. So fingers crossed it doesn't take too long and we can get straight back into this action. But I mean, what did you make of that so far, Drums? Do you think Scout Sports just have to keep playing the way they have and they've got this, or is there more to it than that?
I think what the advantage they have at the moment is their coordination. So I think they shouldn't get too comfy after that one win. I think they still need to... I think Rocket Leeds are still going to be speeding up. I think Scout Sports have to kind of match them with that speed up. So I don't think they can get by just with the same play style. I think they also have to focus on personal, quicker rotations, fast, better clears. So I think if they can just match Rocket Leeds for speed, then I think they should quite comfortably win this series.
Yeah, and the one thing they've got on their side is they had a man who had 100+ ping, who shouldn't normally do. So he might have been a bit hesitant, but now that hopefully they've got rid of that blunder, they won game 1, it's looking even more positive for them. So as the players have returned, we will be getting this game 2 underway. Hopefully his ping has come down. It seems that way for now. Fingers crossed it stays that way, and we will have a clean game 2, at least in terms of internet.
Stock started out with a good chance. Had an open net to roll it towards, but couldn't quite hit it on target. Luke's going to shut down that first attempt. But nice beat from Cosmic. He's got some time and he's got some boost. Might be going for the flip reset here. Stock's up as well. Almost gets the dunk in towards net. But good defending from Soups. Gets rid of that one. Now, both players dead. Fred and Luke on the wall. Briefly brings it down to a 2v2. Stock's going to send that only towards Soup. Soup doesn't have the boost for the follow-up, but the drop a little bit kind. Cosmic gets that over DX. And the pinch sends it only towards the backboard, where Soups has a lot of time. Beats Cosmic. Good pinch as well. Fred's in an awkward spot here. All he has to do is just waste time there. Soups almost finds the dunk over Stock, but can't quite. And this is just back and forth. Even and even at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of possession being exchanged between the two sides, but not too much going on in front in terms of goal mouth action. Luke almost got himself round for an opportunity. But at the minute, both teams now just, I think, feeling themselves out, trying to play as fast as they can. It is a very speedy game so far. Luke getting a flip reset there. Not too sure that was intended, but could have possibly led to something. Unfortunately for them, because of the speed of the game, someone was instantly up to challenge from the side of Scout Sports. And we are looking at going to about 2 minutes played at stable 0-0.
We've seen Rocket Leeds try and be a bit more inventive with their offensive plays so far. We saw DX going for a double tap off the corner and freestyling, trying to beat that one in the air. Soups goes for the double tap, but Stock just has to bump it away. Cosmic is going to leather that towards the backboard. Where Stock was waiting, Pred's going to get a free shot there. Soups is nowhere near. And once again, Scout Sports open up the scoreline.
Yeah, it's a... Don't know if DX was playing for the hit off the Scout Sports player who had gone up onto the backboard to hit that, but Leeds had pushed a bit too much into the previous attack. They kept grabbing the corner boosts, turning around, grabbing the mid boost, charging back in, and burning a lot on the offense. And as soon as they had to retreat, because Scout Sports hadn't been troubled so much, they still had a bit left in the tank. And that's what led to such a quick counter into their opening goal.
It's too easy to feel like if you're taking all the big boost pads, then your opponents won't have any boost, but those little pads, all so important.
Well, not just the little pads, but you got to pull them out of position, because right now they can sit quite comfortably just watching you fly and smack the ball at your backboard, but if no one's following up, you know, there's no problem.
Very good points. It's Cosmic. Just going to air dribble that. Takes out 2 players. It's just Luke to beat, but doesn't quite have the boost for the challenge. Luke's going to send it into the middle. Stock is waiting. Hits it up to Cosmic. Cosmic leaves it for Pred. Pred puts it off the backboard. That might be 2 players up, but Soups, the second man, gets the hit. That's just Cosmic. Leaves it for Stock to get the better clear. DX sends it back and gets a fantastic dunk. But Cosmic, smart, saw that his teammate was going for it. And for that instead. Now off the backboard. Pred's going to be there. Gets a fantastic angle, but DX still waiting for it. Stock sends it up high. DX is baited out once again, and Cosmic, 2 defenders to beat, says no problem. That's 2-0.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing the difference right now between a team and a group of individuals. I feel like there's just no connection between the Leeds players, and Scout Sports showing us exactly their team synergy so far. A nice passing play. Again, slightly disappointing for DX not being able to make the touch on the backboard, which inevitably led to then the double commit. That didn't matter though, because Cosmic was really fast on top of that. And it's just, yeah, there's not been too much going on up front for Leeds. They're trying to play too fast almost. They're not really taking their time on the ball when they have it, but Cosmico will drop that one nicely down on the near post. 2 players again double committing on the side. Stock didn't get the pass, almost, but I don't think it would have made too much difference to the trajectory of that ball, and that's a great tap down into the top of the net.
Stock didn't get the pass, but Soups had to respect it. Kept him down just long enough for Cosmic to get that lovely angle into the top corner. And a much more commanding scoreline from Scout Sports this game. Stock looking to make it a 4th. That one just might drop in. Just arcs in from the lovely clear from Stock, and they're running away with it now.
And another double commit there from Rocket Leeds. No one wants to be third man in this team. No one is willing to just wait on a second. They don't want to hesitate, and you can see that. But because they're doing that, they're turning really aggressively in situations where they're also catching out their own team rather than the opposition. And it is proving costly. Now finding themselves 4-0 down. Can they find their first goal here of this game? Ooh. No, somehow kept out as it dropped down in front of net and off Cosmico's hood.
Cosmic with the clutch save. I feel like whoever was coming in for that from Rocket Leeds would have had a definite goal. But now, with just 20 seconds left and 4-0 the scoreline, it's looking almost certain to be 2-0 to Scout Sports. And now, what can Rocket Leeds take from this? What do you think they have to shore up most in the next couple of games?
That was very close, to be fair. Almost going in. I've got to say, it's just the second man's got to play a bit more passive. He is being way too aggressive right now, basically half the time finding himself on the same position as their front player. and they are not positioning correctly for the players going either because of how aggressive second man's being. It's always a 2 going at the same time, and then their third is either the one who was previously challenging and is coming back, or it's a guy who's run off to get boost. He's not in the play at all. They're trying to be too quick, and they've got to realize that speed right now isn't the play when you can't connect with each other.
So very much taking it back to basics, looking at just sort of finding a few more of these passes, and above all else, leaving a man at the back for when Scout Sports do get those inevitable counterattacks. Yeah,
I mean, we've been saying, and it showed in the games, Rocket Leads have had most of the pressure. I've done it again. It's looked and felt like they've had most of the pressure, but when you look at the stats, they only managed to put up 3 shots, whereas Scout Sports got themselves 7. And for a team that's having the pressure on field, to not have the statistics show it at the end of the game, there is a problem. And hopefully they can see that themselves, and they've just got to be like, right, okay, guys, let's do the basics. Let's rotate and let's defend. And we'll just start with getting everything set up from the back and then work our way forwards.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they've only got 2 more games potentially left to try and catch themselves on a few of these mistakes. It remains to be seen whether or not they can pick up the pieces so far. But Scout Sports, I have to say, they've come out of this maybe not the quickest, but they've come out with a lot more of the composure. And all they need to do is just keep doing what they're doing. Almost caught out by an early attack there from Rocket Leads, but now on another one of their counterattacks. Stock, lovely pass to Cosmic. Cosmic gets the flick over one, but Soups. That's going to be a clear back towards an open net. Can Stock get to it? No, he can't. Rocket Leads doing exactly what they were doing last series, finding an open net.
Yeah, nice boomer forwards. And, I mean, just to reiterate on the point I was saying before, the problem they have with trying to slow down is it's completely counterintuitive, because you're getting frustrated by a team that are defending and then just waiting for you to overcome it and then taking advantage of the openings that you're leaving them. When you get annoyed, you want to play faster, you want to do things quicker and, pace here. Problem is, they've got to wait, as that somehow doesn't end up in the back of the net. The best way to do it is to bait them out, pull them out of position by being more patient. But this one, looking to go over
what a save.
All the way. DX puts it on his crossbar, but this is not over yet. Cosmico's trying to get the dunk. Somehow, this game is still only 1-0 in favor of... No, it's not. Never mind. Stock takes that one over the top of the last man. How did he manage that?
From dunk to dunk, Stock didn't need to get a fancy hit on the ball. All he had to do was just stay behind it. He knew it was an awkward clear, and he just put himself in the way. Lovely awareness from Stock. And just like that, in less than a minute, they have managed to bring this back to 1-1. Now Pred has some time on the backboard, but so does Luke. DX gifted a shot, can't make the connection. Now the counter-attack dribble for Stock. Pred sent it off the corner. Finds the middle once again, and Soups bumping out his teammate. Just had ball cam on, didn't know where he was going. Luke has to get the clear, but that he does. Now good chance here for Rocket Leads. Soups, time in front of the ball, but Stock gets back once again. I gotta say, Stock really showing up in this last game.
Oh, and a great pass from him as well. Slipping that one behind the defender off the back wall to Cosmico. 2-1 now in favor of Scout Sports, and Rocket Leagues have still not sorted out their double commits as second man. It's plaguing them constantly throughout the series. And it was that offense from them with the double commit that's once again resulted in being counterattacked and getting scored on. This one, though, straight in from Stock. No pressure even coming out from Leeds before that one goes in. Nice 50. Stock is up so quick. Luke elects to wait, but he had no chance of saving that.
Yeah, the placement like that with enough power as Stock got on it is unstoppable. That was Lovely play, and now Scout Sports, you can tell they're feeling good. Cosmic was up off the ceiling. Didn't quite get close to the ball, but the fact that he's going for it at all. Cosmic gets the clear once again, and gets the pre-flip over Rocket Leeds players. DX forced up quickly. Pred can only send that straight back to the backboard. Soups has to get the clear out to DX, but DX can't turn for it. Just none of that trust between the Rocket Leeds players now. It's still catching me out.
Yeah, well, the one, I guess, fortunate side for us is if Leeds do end up dropping out, we won't have this problem anymore. But right now, they've got to change something still. We've just hit the halfway point of this game 3. And if they don't find anything going now, they are looking at only a reverse sweep to keep them in any chance of going through. As Cosmico is looking at pre-jamming that, gets a nice drop down in front of net. Stock goes for the flip reset instead of just popping that one home. This will be infuriating Leeds even more. This is a nice counterattack, but once again, that first player is double committing with the second man. And it's just causing so many issues as soon as it breaks down in offense. Now, bump play, Cosmico quickly in as a third man. 4-1 to Scout Sports.
I've got to say, outside of that open net that Rocket Leeds were given earlier, they've not looked threatening at all. Scout Sports, however, it seems like every time they're in front of net, it looks like a scoring chance. That's 2 goals in a row that have just been slapped into the net with no resistance possible. Make that 3. Red just outdoes the entire team on that kickoff.
Yeah,
They're running away with it.
They really are running away with it. 5-1. Still a minute 42. Still time for Leeds to at least just talk to each other and try and figure out the problems they're having, because it's a lot easier for us to say, you know, with this outside perspective, we're not looking down the mind of the game. We're trying to be in full concentration, attempting to do what they can, especially now an impossible task here, being 5-1 down and trying to find a way back into the game. You're getting frustrated, you're getting annoyed, it just doesn't feel like it's going your way. You think, oh, I probably should be on that faster, I should be closer here. So now they're pushing a lot harder, and it's actually pulling them out of position, which will infuriate them more and more as Cosmico destroys the whole team. 6-1, we could be looking at a Brazil here.
It doesn't matter if you're in position or not when Cosmic can just lightly tap it and you're out of the play. Fantastic solo play from that man. And like you say, a whole minute for Scout Sports to find one more goal for that oh-so-famous 7-1 scoreline. And this looks like a good chance there for Cosmic. Great block on the shot. Pred's going to try and put that into the middle. Just players left scrambling for Rocket Leeds. But manages to alleviate the pressure just for a second. Cosmic tries to find the pass over to Pred, but dies on the other side for his efforts. Pred sends it up the field. Stock, that's an awkward 50. DX gifting the doink chance. Manages to find it. Cosmic only lunges at air. And the Brazil is denied there for Scout Sports.
A nice little pop. Cosmico just drifts a bit too hard. Maybe still had the opportunity to get back on that one. But, I mean, if anything, they've just got to use that goal now as a sort of shining light. A twinkling, dim light down a very dark tunnel, because they are looking down and out right now. There's still a game to go. There are still opportunities. They really have to start moving towards that light as fast as possible. But they're just playing like 3 men who are all wanting to be the first man. They're all charging in at everything. As we see Cosmico chilling, gets demolished for it, and Soups will get one more at 0 seconds to make the scoreline look a lot better than it was for the majority of this game.
Like you said, that's a little bit of hope. That's a little bit of, you know, a ray of light onto this last few games. And they need the momentum now more than ever. They had 2 goals. They had the last 2 goals in that game, and that might be just enough to spur them on at the beginning of this one. But you feel like if Scout Sports even get 1 goal here to begin with, then it's just going to be game over. They have looked very composed, very together, and like you say, much more like a team that Rocket Leeds have.
Yeah, and that summarized in statistics beautifully. There are only 35 points difference between the 3 Scout Sports players, whereas you're looking at Soups on Rocket Leeds with 588 and then Luke down at 66. There's just too much disparity going on between these teams. It seems like they don't... I mean, you wouldn't even say they're trying to play different styles. They just all want to be the first man on the ball. No one's, being respective of each other. No one's taking the like step back and being like, okay, I'm going to be the core rotational point of this team. You two go and I will be the missing piece that works. Because if one of them just decides to step back a little bit and allow a pivot, at least, of rotation to form, it could change their fortunes dramatically. And to be honest, the only reason that they had a good few points at the end of that game was because Scout Sports were just chilling. They were 6-1 up. They were going for fancy plays. We saw Cosmico pre-jumping his teammates' passes. So, there's still a lot to work here for Leeds, but this is their last chance. If they cannot do anything here, we see Scout Sports head through to the grand finals with a 4-0 sweep.
Yeah, there's no I in team for Rocket Leeds. There's also no I in reverse sweep. DX tries to get the challenge. Luke is found by that. Soups chooses not to challenge. That's going to be a bit of an open net there, afforded to Rocket Leeds, but nobody on the follow-up. Maybe, as you say, starting to play that third man role a bit more. DX, nice block off the ceiling. And Luke, nice block off the wall. Stock feels backflip. Pops it up a little bit, but only for Cosmic. It's going to be a shot chance afforded there to Rocket Leeds for the first time. DX tries to carry that round into the middle. Luke taps it back. But Soups is a bit slow on the follow-up. Cosmic, oh, that was dangerous, dribbling that in front of his own net. But seems to have worked out so far. Almost gets the dunk onto Luke directly into the net, but goes off the backboard instead. Soups with no boost. Can't follow that up in the air. And maybe a slightly better beginning so far for Rocket Leeds.
Yeah, they seem to be rotating a bit better. There's been no double commits as of yet, but that could just be down to Scout Sports being a little bit more relaxed. They're on offense here as Scout Sports, but well defended from Soups. The one thing you do not want to happen if you are a fan of the Liverpool John Moores team is have them sit back. I've casted so many games where a team looking so comfortable going into game 3 of a best of 5, say, and then they sit back and they change their style, and then the opposition get the opportunity to come back, and then they build momentum, and then they end up getting reverse swept. But right now, this one's almost going in just wide.
Oh, what a
the
bump.
Second time round, Pred will snap that one home, and I do believe there was a bump in there.
Oh, that was all in Stock's bump. I think Soups would have had that save, but nothing at all when Stock gets involved. And Scout Sports, they weathered a bit more pressure this game. They looked like they were starting to snap a little bit, but just like that, they snap back into shape. And they've opened up the scoreline once again. They're looking for another one here. Cosmic taps it into the middle. Good counter-attack chance here for Luke, but what a block from Pred. That forces a save out of Soups, the one-man back. DX, not the best tap off the corner. And Stock once again bumping Luke in net. Passing starting up between the two players on Rocket Leeds. And you can see that they are starting to apply some of these things we've been saying. They're starting to work a bit more as a team.
Yeah, maybe it's too little too late at this point now. They've got half a game to at least find one goal to take it to overtime. But that's presuming they can keep out this dangerous Scout Sports attack. They will actually find an equalizer. DX with a nice shot after Pred rushes a clear and can't get it wide enough. Good finish from a tight angle. Gives them an opportunity now. Can they actually push on and take their first lead in the series? And score more than one goal in a match when it still applies and they still have an opportunity? Because the 6-3 in the last game doesn't really count for me in that one.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. They're looking much more composed than they were at the end of that game, though.
Oh, that's a great
amazing shot from Stock. Forces a very awkward save out of Soups, but Soups performs well under the pressure. Now, good pass from DX up to Luke, but Luke just a little bit far away. Soups seems to be playing a bit more of that third man role this game. And Cosmic. Nice double tap. Stock, I think, was freestyling off the backboard. Luke with the dribble. Tries to find DX, but can't flick it around fast enough. Predska's just going to send that straight back into the Leeds half. Now Luke. Big clear. All three players waiting for it, though, from Scout Sports. Pred to himself off the ceiling. Fantastic read from Soups to shut that down. And then DX has to be there first. That's a double commit out of him and Luke. Almost gets the bump. That's an open shot there for Stock.
Oh,
and he completely misses it. He had the whole net to aim for. Pred also has the whole net, but Luke waiting there for it. Good couple of chances for Scout Sports there.
Yeah, that all basically arises, though, from the double commit between DX and Luke. Luke not realizing DX was taking the time as he was allowed it, and instead thought, wait, why aren't you going? Why is no one on the ball yet? Rushed in, but almost another opportunity there. That one cut out nicely by Soups, but just constant pressure right now from Scout Sports. Here's another opportunity. No. Well taken away once again by DX, and maybe now a chance for a counter-attack. That's a nice catch and pop. Let's turn him out the way, but good clear.
Such good chances there for Rocket Leeds, for both teams actually. But Cosmic gets the first counter-attack chance. DX has some control on this. Look at the pirouettes. He knows what he's doing, but doesn't quite get anywhere with it. It's bouncing awkwardly to Luke. Luke's going to take a shot. Just comes off the crossbar. That was the chance for Rocket Leeds. You have to feel like Cosmic on the counter-attack can only send it down to DX. Pred will be up there first. Leaves it for Stock. Stock sends it up. One more chance there for Scout Sports. It's dropped down nicely. Stock puts it off the backboard.
This is the opportunity!
It's in! 2 seconds left on the clock, and Scout Sports take a 1-goal lead.
This looks like that is the nail in the coffin. Left it late here in Game 4. But unless Leeds can find something on the kickoff with only 2 seconds remaining, we are looking at a sweep for Scout Sports, and that is indeed what happens. Well played to them. They will be moving on to the finals in comfortable fashion, I must say, looking the much stronger of the two teams. But that last game was more like we expected, to be honest. I expected the close series throughout, and credit to Scout Sports for just destroying their opposition.
And destroy it they did. I mean, we both predicted Rocket Leeds to at least get a couple of games, but Scout Sports just showed up, and they showed up in fashion. They had the rotations on lock, they had the communications on lock, and look at the shots. They had 10 shots in that last game. Even though we felt like it was more of an even opportunity, they were still taking a lot more of those chances and didn't really have any kind of threatening chances against them from Leeds.
No, it was just, I think there was a good 30 seconds of constant Scout Sports pressure that Leeds, because they rotated well for once, they were able to deal with it. They always had someone back in position, even though they were a bit low on boost. It was threatening, but they were there. And then that was the point where Scout Sports overcommitted, and we saw the opportunity on the counterattack coming in favor of Rocket Leeds. They just couldn't quite get that together at the end. They switched up the play just a bit too late, you would say. It just took them a few too many games to realize what they actually had to do, and by then, unfortunately for them, it was too late. But we say congratulations to Scout Sports, as they will be moving on to the Regional League Grand Finals, where they will be facing off against one of two oppositions that we have got coming after the break, and that is Durham versus UEA.
Yeah, that's two teams that, I mean, I would have put them as definite National League teams at the beginning of the season. I think a lot of people had UEA in their top 10 predictions. Quite a few people had Durham in their top 10s. And that's going to be a good series. That's going to be a very good series.
It will be a really good one. I think everyone's predictions have said 4-3 or at least 4-2, one end to the other. But then we thought this one would be, and didn't quite turn out that way. So I think it very much depends on which team turns up on the night. But as we said, that will be getting to you guys after a quick break from us so we can set everything up. So we will see you in a little bit. Don't go anywhere.
like ice tracing all my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our second game here, brought to you here on Rocket Kingdom of the NSE in the regionals. We have got our second semi-final, and it is, as we stated just before the break for any newcomers, Durham Defenders versus UEA, and that is the University of East Anglia, for people who do not know their abbreviation. Also, that is in Norwich, in case you're still wondering where the hell that is in the UK. I am Princey, and I'm still here with Drumzos.
Hello there.
Do you want to give us a bit of background knowledge on these two teams while I try and find the missing UEA players?
Well, we were given average MMRs of all the players beforehand by Cenarius, and Durham, they're all about sort of 1750 MMR-ish. UEA, they're a bit more spread. They're between 1600 and 1950. And I looked at the averages of those two, and they are both exactly the same. On paper, these two teams are completely equal. However, Durham have probably had the much better performance over the season, where, 2 weeks they came one game away from making National League in that deciders. They lost out to BCU. They lost out to University of Birmingham in week 2, and then Arctic Foxes in week 3. Whereas UEA, they've had a bit of a slow start to the season. They took a bit of time to ramp up, took a bit of time to really gel together. But when they have worked, they've looked pretty scary. So I think it all depends on how they're looking today. And I think we'll be looking to that key player, KJJC, to really get them going.
Yeah, he is a recent addition to this roster, found through some good fortunes, one may say, as Astral, a player actually on Sheffield Saints. He was setting up an IEL team, got talking to this guy who is one of his players, and he's like, yeah, I play in the university scene. And he's like, oh, the university scene, what's going on there? Do UEA have a team? And he's like, yeah, they do. Let me get you in contact with them. That's how this happened. That's how it started. And now they have this, big player who got 1900 last season as well. And he is messaging me a lot because he doesn't seem to understand how to put in a name and password. Slight
bit of shade there, Princey.
Oh, I can. I've been playing with him recently in a few tournaments and things, so I'm allowed to do that.
I was going to say UEA, but they've been a lot of them not together. They get involved quite separately in a few different tournaments. Like Zorti plays in Belong, quite a lot of Belong tournaments. Like you say, KJJ plays in IEL. And you played with Supreme in the Rocket Kingdom tournaments, didn't you?
Yeah, but towards the end of that, he sorry, he's still struggling with the name. So, towards the end of that, Supreme, I think, got a little bit burnt out of Rocket League, as he basically played himself down to the ground through the Christmas break or just before that, where he essentially ascended from C3, getting there the first time round, in the same season going all the way up through to 1700. And then I think towards the end of that, when getting up to 1800 really, not even 1700. Then he took a big reality check as he dropped back down towards 1600, and I think that just sort of killed his vibe for the game in a way. That towards the end he basically didn't play for our last two matches. So he's picked it up again this week. I've noticed he's been a lot more active. because, you know, with the world affairs as it is, sadly, no one's really allowed to leave their houses. So you pretty much almost have nothing else to do besides play video games. And there's not many worse games to play than Rocket League, is there either? So, you know.
I mean, I know I personally have been wasting a lot of my time on this game, but I think
check out my hours.
I think it's been the same for pretty much everyone. So I think we should see a huge step up in quality from pretty much every team in the last couple of weeks. And I mean, these are the two teams. This is the game I've been waiting to see. I think these two teams are pretty stacked. They're pretty well coordinated, and we are underway. Princey, who do you think's going to take this series?
Well, the fact that I've teamed with 2 of the 3 players on UEA, it's a bit rude not to really go for them. But taking that away, I still feel like overall they're the stronger team, even though this Durham side have been together a while and they've played a lot as a 3 now. They've even had, you know, chances in the European university scene that they didn't quite make it all the way. I just think that this new up-and-coming roster with a big man up top as KJJC, he's going to pull them through, and that is exactly what he's doing right now. Supreme, a nice little tap, goes for the bump play and gets a demolition on one as well. The second man coming through for Durham couldn't get there, and a nice speedy shot from KJ sends them 1-0 up.
I didn't even see the demo from Supreme. That was so well coordinated, and a ground pinch from KJJ finds the crossbar. It's going to leave HT Champs in an awkward spot on the backboard. Zausch gets a clear, but straight over to Zorti. HT, nice tap, but the bump into the block for Zorti. It's going to leave Supreme off the ceiling. Can he find the pass? Yes, he can, but it's a bit too late. Zorti wasn't really ready for it. Now the counter-attack opportunity for Durham. Odisha is going to send that towards the middle for Zauch, and they make it 1-1.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dive there from the second man coming through, and Supreme, I think he chose the right time to turn, but Mordisha was too quick for him. A nice center, and Zauch, the fastest man, following up through on that one. Ties this one up nicely, just over a minute played. I think this is going to be a very close series, let alone game 1.
Yeah, but it's always nice when both teams start out swinging. Supreme, talk about swinging there. That's an outstanding shot. Just finds the top corner effortlessly.
Yeah, big blow coming through from the UEA side. Turns upside down and gets the perfect boomer on that one. Into the top of the net. A bit of counter-intuitive BM from Zauch? I'm not too sure. The double bluff almost. As he drops a nice one. I don't know, it's interesting because of the players' reactions, but now Durham defenders going very close. Couldn't quite push that one through. This game's still in favor of UEA for the time being, but still anyone's game. However, that's a double commit coming through. And might just have to hand off possession to UEA. They do.
We're seeing both teams give each other a lot of respect in the early stages of this game. Odisha tries to find Zauch once again in the middle, but Zauch couldn't quite connect with it. HT Champs is up nice and early for that, but it's only the pop over to Supreme. It's an awkward tap, but good follow-up from HT Champs. KJJ, he's up, he's got time, he's got boost, but he's got Mordisha there as well. Bit of scrambling on the defense from Durham, but they managed to get the ball away. Zauch going to try and send that into middle. Does so, but Mordisha's staying back. And if you've played any of the University 6-mans at all, you know that Mordisha is a very dangerous player. Very composed, coordinated, just like HT Champs, their teammate, who makes it 2-2 with just sheer speed against 2 of the defenders.
Yeah, not quite working there for UEA at the back again. The second man just being, well, I think third man really on that one, just being a bit too aggressive, not really being patient enough as the second man was still trying to make the play on the ball. We once again find ourselves tied up. Mordisha looking to get a cheeky little flip reset in there. Doesn't quite work out, but I like the attempt. These players are really going for it. And one thing I would like to say from the last game and this one, the variation in cars from a couple of the players. We see hit champs there in the endo. A car that's not been seen once, I think, since I left the National League last year, as well as we had Pred in the Takumi in the last game. So, you know, a little bit more variance coming out in these slightly lower leagues. But Mordisha with the double tap off the crossbar. He's always been in the Dominus as far as I remember, and that shows right now. KJ couldn't make the touch on the backboard, and a nice double tap down to make this one 3-2 now in favor of Durham.
Such a tight angle from Mordisha, but finds it nonetheless. And they find themselves a goal ahead now. Minute 40 left on the clock. UAE really have to get some pressure going. Bit of a boost miss there from Zouch. But
UEA, not UAE.
EA.
They are not the United.
God, there was Rocket Leeds last game that we kept on saying wrong. Now it's going to be UEA. But nice block there. Gives KJJ a chance. The drop down is sheer in front of the net, but nobody there fast enough. Supreme goes for the musty. Doesn't really get much onto it. Ouch. Gets a lovely 50. That's going to relieve pressure for Durham. And a minute left now. They need to just keep doing what they're doing, I think. Hitchamp's taken out, though. Ouch. Going for the squishy save. The boost steal on Zorti. That's going to be an awkward spot there for UEA. The counter-attack. Douch tries to get it to middle. Supreme does really well to get a solid hit on that. And KJJ's just going to send that straight back and get the follow-up himself. Great speed, great counter from UEA. And they equalize with just 40 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, Hitchamps elect to go straight back to the center there. Just gave KJ the time to put that one home. Had to keep pressure, was maybe hoping someone was in a better position in net. Realized too late that that wasn't the case, and now 3-3, all nice and tied with only 35 seconds to go. Will we see a breakaway team in this one, or will we see our first overtime?
You have to feel like both teams know how to defend in these situations. So, it might be a bit of a stalemate, but that's a really awkward spot for UEA. Hitchamps has the shot chance, but elects to send it high instead. Now Zouch, no boost, sends it over to the corner. Hitchamps are taken out, but Mordisha, that solid third man, up at the back, gets the win. Zorti, 50 goes over his box. No challenge there from Durham. And as this ball winds down, Hitchamps has the shot chance, but sends it low. Couldn't get the power. And we find our first overtime of the night.
Yes, so unfortunate for Durham that they couldn't put the game to bed. Just not enough power from Hitchamps. Now they're looking to possibly be paid with a counterattack. KJ with a nice... couldn't turn that one to net. So close for both teams there in the opening seconds of this overtime. Zortea with a bit of a backflip. Doesn't lead to anything, but still end-to-end stuff for both these teams. It could really go either way in this game one.
Yeah, you have to feel like either team that loses this game, they're going to feel like they deserve the win. It might be a demoralizing start to the series. But first proper chance underway there for Durham. Hitchamps is over one. That's got to be the shot chance for Mordisha. Mordisha puts it away, and Durham take game number one.
They do, and Zortea could not make the read. Hitchamps with tap, and then perfectly beaten to the ball is Supreme by Mordisha. Just about gets the touch. I thought at first glance that could have been a power hit over the bar, but he controlled it beautifully just to let it drop under the crossbar. Durham defenders take game one, but very closely fought nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, they felt, in comparison to last series, they felt more like a team. Similarly to Scout Sports and Rocket Leeds, but I mean, the plays from UEA were there. They were looking quite stylish at times, and they only lost out by centimeters in some places. They had some great chances. They had some good defending, good team plays, good eyes of the game. This is going to be a long series, I think.
Yeah, unless we now see the slow capitulation of UEA. I don't know, though, because, like, Supreme was going for musties in that first game. Mordisha was going for flip resets as well. Both these teams looking comfortable, looking like they want to show off and be that little bit extra that maybe, you know, right now they might not need, but in a few games' time, when it's coming down more to the final choke and who can squeeze through to face off against the previous winners, Scout Sports, in the grand final. Yeah, that little bit extra might just be what you need. Now, game 2, will we see a very similar opening and very closely fought game again, or will we have one breakaway team? That is the question, and that is what we will be getting answered within the next 5 minutes.
It's a good start for Mordisha. Durham starting off with the first tiny bit of pressure, but overextended slightly. Zorti is going to slowly loft that towards net, but Mordisha, good back rotation. Catches that before it can drop. The pass from KJG, exactly to the middle of Zorti and Supreme. Neither knew whose it was. Zorti going for the flip reset off the ceiling. Mordisha send that slowly down the line towards Zouch. It's an unfortunate touch from KJJ, but recovers. Sends it back across the middle. Mordisha themselves off the wall. Catches out through Preem, and again, just KJJ at the back. Zouch plays to himself, gets bumped by Supreme. That's going to mitigate a bit of that pressure. And then the counter-attack begins for UEA. But Mordisha says, no thanks, sends that up. Zouch is up quickly. What a shot! A lovely play from Durham to open up the scoreline.
Oh, speedy from Mordisha. The recovery, not quite 100%, but because of that, it gave him a much better position to slam that one mid, and Zouch was so quickly, gets over it, drops it down before Zortea has any chance. That's something I gotta ask. Is it Zorti or is it Zortea? Because we're both saying different things right now, and I don't know which one to go with.
I'm gonna stick with Zorti, despite what anyone says. It's got T in it. That's as good a reasoning as any.
That's a fair shout.
The ball once again lofted its way towards the Durham net, but they were there quickly on the backboard. HT going for the double tap. That was going in if KJJ didn't have that. What a goal that would have been. But what a save in response. Mordisha forced off the goal line. HT gets the 50. That's lofting awkwardly. Supreme's up, but forces 2 players out of net for the save. The ball lofted down once again to Supreme, but good block. Back up the line by Mordisha. Doesn't have the boost, but just a soft tap towards net. Supreme, whiff on the wall. KJJ sends it up the pitch. Hit Champs sends it back down. 50. That endo of his proves to be solid. And now, slightly straggling defense here from UEA. Kind of struggling to get back into this one. Do you think they're playing a little bit more cautiously based on the result of last game, or should they be playing how they are?
The problem they have now is it seems like their offense and defense is being dictated as to when Durham are attacking or having to drop back for boost. It really seems to be very linear in that sense right now, because they're always the ones running back when UEA, that is, are running back to net, looking like they're struggling when Durham go forwards. But on the other hand, there's always someone, 1 or 2 players comfortably back almost for Durham whenever UEA are going forwards. So they might just need to try and gain control of the swing of the game right now. But misses like that are not going to help in this case. The Preem is up and able to bail out the big whiff. But so far they're lacking a little bit of something, and they are 1-0 down in this game with only 1 minute 50 to show for it.
Still only 1 goal the difference though, as you say. All they need is that one good counter-attack. HT Champs tries to send it to the middle, but Zorti's up quickly. Zouch sends that back to him, and Zorti sends it back again. Gets the tap. That's Mordisha caught out. Forces the challenge from Hit Champs, but Hit Champs does well. Not the best hit there, though. Almost gets the counter-attack gifted to KJ. Then, once again, the hit towards net. Zouch, that's a soft tap. That's going to be an awkward one, but fantastic recovery from Zouch. Gets that out the net. And then the clear to follow. That was a close one for Durham.
Yeah, they hanging on a little bit there, but that's the first major opportunity really coming for UEA now that maybe should have been a goal. This looks like a lovely double tap from Freeman. It is just that. 1-1, we are tied up with 1 minute and 1 second left on the clock. That was timed perfectly and scored beautifully by Supreme, the Sheriff of Reggieville.
As soon as he caught that first touch, you just knew that was a goal. That was absolutely perfect, the controlling hit. And just like that, UEA are back in the game and looking more comfortable than ever. They're starting to put some more of these attacks on net. That's a good chance for KJ, but just beaten out from Zorti behind. And the bump was just enough for Zorti to sneak one in. And within 10 seconds, the fortunes of this game have completely reversed.
Zouch did not trust Hitchamps at the back, and I think KJ had just parked his car in front of the 2 defenders in net. And as you said, just like that, almost the snap of a fingers, and UEA suddenly leading. I was saying that they were letting Durham, control the play and control the game. But the slight lapse in concentration comes out, and UEA take full offense. And full control now goes to them with only 25 seconds to go. Perfect time to grab it. Because now it's up to Durham, but they get the opportunity, and the fake from Mordisha just leaves the net open. Every player from UEA stuck in the same position. No one covering that back post. A brilliant placement from Hitchamps. And we see ourselves 2-2 now, 20 seconds to go. Maybe the second overtime in as many games.
There is a hair's width between these teams. They are neck and neck. But 2 goals each, counting down. 5 seconds left now.
Oh, that's a huge
like
bomb.
The second overtime in a row. Zouch keeps it up. That's an awkward spot for UEA. They don't want the ball high here. They want to get this down and gone. KJ looking to do just that, and Zouch, very smart, plays that onto the floor. We have our second overtime of this series.
I thought that bump over net between the 2 UEA players was going to be so costly, but fortunately for them, the ball still floated on past the far post. If not, that could have been a horror goal to concede and really would have dampened their feelings towards this game at the minute. But right now, they are still in with a chance. We are approaching the 30-second mark, but this is a big opportunity here for Zouch, and he's... Oh! The post. Sortea could not make the read. KJ gets 50'd by Mordisha, and the read not coming through by Zortea just gives the opportunity for Zouch. They take it, and once again, Durham sneaking through on the overtime, now giving themselves a little bit of a cushion with a 2-game advantage, but you gotta feel sorry for UEA.
Oh yeah, like I say, they've been... I mean, Durham are 2 games ahead. It feels like either of those games could have gone the way of UEA. Sure, they've had slightly less of the pressure than Durham have, but it's been very, very slightly less.
Yeah,
they're just not getting any of the convincing chances that Durham have been getting.
Well, those convincing chances have been coming through from the slight misplays on the UEA side. I don't really think, besides the goal to put UEA up, that was the first real misplay between the Durham defenders, where Zouch decided to cut out Hitchamps, who was just taking a little bit longer. I mean, it maybe would have been an awkward 50 in net anyway. But Zouch didn't want any of that, completely cut him off out the game. That led to a double commit, and then led to 2 players sat on top of each other in net. KJ got the bumps, that story, how that ended. We just saw it. But yeah, I think that's probably just the difference between Durham being a more long-standing team and UEA just forming this semester, and finally just starting to get the clocks to tick in their favor, really. And the rotations to go is sorted. There's still a few kinks, and Durham have fully capitalized on every single little one of them so far. But can they keep it going, or will we see UEA finally break through and take a game not today, says Mordisha, as a speedy goal comes through here in this game 3. Zouch up so quickly and waterfalls that one down to his teammate. Just like that, Durham laying down a statement here in game 3. They do not want this one to go on long. 1-0 to the Durham defenders.
That's 2 goals in a row where it's been Zorti caught out by the ceiling. This time, it's Supreme doing the catching out. A lovely placed shot. Just immediately finds the bottom left, and awkward touch there from Hitchamps. Slightly unlucky goal there, you have to feel like, from Durham, but very well played by Supreme to capitalize on that.
That's just the touch that isn't required. You know, sometimes I think a lot of players still believe, even at the highest ranks, that if the ball is near them, they have to hit it. And that is when you just let sail over your head. It's going to a spot on the map that isn't really dangerous in your corner. He's decided to try and react just to stop Supreme getting back onto it. Sadly, let's drop the ball right into a nice open area that Supreme can then just turn, get onto quickly, and tie up the game. 2 kickoff goals, and we're back all even as if nothing even happened, except for a lot of excitement on our end.
They're just trying to keep us loud, keep us on our toes. But now, we're back into that tied situation that both teams have ended the last 2 games with. But still looking all out for goals. That's a big whiff from KJJ. That's going to give a good chance to Hitchamps, but can't get the power. Can't get it past the 2 defenders in net for UEA. Now the counter-attack chance. Supreme's pushing up for the bump, but KJ doesn't have the boost. Can't get anything with that, but fantastic flick. Catches out Mordisha. Zorti has to go up that quickly, but not quick enough. Now Zouch on the counter-attack, tries to get the flip reset. He didn't have the boost, it was all he could do, but couldn't get to it in time. And Hitchamps caught out, but KJ misses the open net. A huge chance for UEA to take the lead, and they have just squandered it like that.
That's been the little difference so far. UEA not fully capitalized on the chances offered to them by Durham. Now Durham want to go and take full advantage. They look for the quick passing play, but it's just over Hitchamp's head. Somehow this game remains tied. 2 minutes to go. That is a brilliant pass from KJ. Scoops that one over the defender and put back out to mid, but second man just too far back in that instance.
Yeah, again, maybe showing a bit too much respect to this Durham side. I understand that they don't want to be scored on anymore, but you know, you've got to get the goals going yourself. They're starting to get some pressure mounting in favor of the Durham half. KJ is going to send that off the corner. Doesn't find its way to middle. Mordisha, lovely play to get that over 2. Almost gets it over 3, but Zortia staying grounded. Very well proposed. KJ, big hit. Going to get that back over Hitchamps. Just Mordisha at the back. And Zorti, the hit once again up the pitch. Hitchamps sends it straight back. This ball is just dancing back and forth up the line. Great 50 on Supreme. That's going to send it to the middle to Zorti. The doink almost finds the bottom corner from Supreme. Not sure how much he knew about it, but what a goal that would have been.
Oh, that would have been amazing. But yeah, he had no idea. He passing that ball down and attempting to get out of the way before the shot came through from his teammate. Once again, this game feels like it should have had another goal by now. Still level. There were just opportunities flying through from both teams and not being fully taken. That's a little bit of a whiff. No one facing forwards from UEA, though, to take advantage of that one. And this is happening a lot. There's just huge holes filling up in the midfield. A brilliant flick from Supreme. And they finally take advantage of a very big overcommit from the middleman. Supreme picks that one up perfectly, gives the keeper in Mordisha no chance. Now the question is, can UEA hold on to this little lead that they've got here? Can they build on it? Or will they drop it to overtime and then possibly drop another OT?
Well, their overtime record hasn't been the best, as you say, so they'll probably be wanting to avoid that. It's 2 players up there for Durham, though, and they pinch it. Not really anywhere. Hitchamps. That's wasting time that he doesn't have. Zouch Has to hit that up the wall to himself. Gets it around Zorti. But KJ's waiting there just to send it back. Odisha, that's a big whiff. Oh, KJ robs it off of Dupreme. But the pass, what a play! Dupreme came inches away from saving that himself. But the 1-2 between KJ and Zorti was unstoppable.
Dupreme almost did indeed save that. But as you said, yeah, he may have robbed it off his teammate Dupreme. But that was definitely the better play, because I think if Dupreme had come through on that, he's probably just smacking it against his own backboard. And they were so pushed up that that is straight over their heads and probably getting conceded on. Definitely a smart play from KJ. Beautiful goal. And that little cushion might just be what gets them through here in this game 3 and gives them their first game in the series to bring it back within 1.
I think this is the first time in the entire series we've seen either team take a 2-goal lead. I think it's just been back and forth goal trading.
I think you're right as well on that.
But as the counter ticks down, this will not go to overtime, and UEA will take their first game away from Durham defenders.
And that was a convincing victory as well. Not a squeaky push through overtime that the two Durham defenders have had. And that's probably the scariest thing for them. They looked pretty shaky in that game 3. Not besides that early start, you know, the more pressure UEA mounted on them, the worse they looked, the more mistakes they started coming out. And UEA had just been beaten twice in overtime in the first 2 games. So, you know, that's mentally taxing in itself. But they are looking strong now, and they are 1 away from tying it. So it'll be interesting to see how this next one goes, because if Durham can wake up, find the former selves that we saw in those first 2 games, suddenly it could be 3-1 and then match point in their favor.
Yeah, with how even these teams are, I think if any team gets a two game advantage, which at this point would have to be Durham, then you have to feel like they just take the series. So this next game, incredibly important for UEA. I think either they take this game or they lose in the long run. And that's... It all hinges on this.
Yeah, they do not want the added pressure of being stuck at a point where if you lose... I mean, we say you're out, but there is a third place playoff game going on against Leeds for the loser of this game, but it will not be on stream. We will be going to the finals after this game. Both of these teams doing all they can to get there. But there is still at least 2 more games to go. This is looking a little bit awkward over their own backboard. Zortea, or Zorti, whichever way you decide to go on that one, clears it out nicely.
Nice drop from HT down towards Zouch. But Zouch can't really do anything with it. KJ's going to send that up the pitch. The bounce might be coming to him off the corner, but it's not. Modisha reads it nicely. Hitchamps. It's up in the middle. I think Dupreme had a lot more time than he realized he did, but he's managed to do quite well with that. Both players from UEA just hanging back, waiting for Durham to clear that. That's not the best touch from Modisha, but great recovery to get KJC out the game. So T 50s it over towards the wall. He's going to read that again off the corner, but not a very manageable pass. KJ sends that high up once again. Feels like at the moment, UEA are just kind of smacking the ball, and all that Durham have to do is wait.
It is, but it's looking more and more awkward the more times that UEA do that. As I don't think, by the looks of it, that backboard defending is something they quite enjoy doing. And it looks very taxing on their boost as well, because sticking it that high when you're standing low or you're sitting low on your goal line, you have to burn a lot just to get up to meet that in time. KJ slams that one up the crossbar. Had the whole net to aim for, basically. Just couldn't get over it. But right now, after a few shaky seconds at the start of the game, it is all UEA. And it just looks like a matter of time before they find their opening goal.
Yeah, that's 2 players up once again. We've seen a lot of these double commits in net for Durham. But that's an awkward situation, just rolling back towards the open net. Great back rotation from Hitchamps, though. Gets rid of that shot before it happens. Now, counter-attack opportunity for Durham. They've got all 3 players moving up in position, but Zouch just caught off guard by that pinch, making its way through Hitchamps and Mordisha. And the ball slow bounce back towards Zorti. It's slapped away by Mordisha. Goes for the doink. Gets a lot of height on that, but KJ was waiting for it at the back. Hitchamps fakes out the hit from KJ. That's not the best tap from Zouch into the middle, but Supreme doesn't really manage to do anything with it. Off the middle. The 50, that's just gonna find a straight top corner for Zorti. And UEA once again find themselves in the lead.
Just no control on the back line from Durham. Their only way of clearing the ball, it seems, is to boom it out. No one is willing to try and slow it down when they get a little bit of time. And because of that, they just keep smacking the ball back to UEA over and over again. It's almost like you're just putting your face in the line of fire, ready to get smacked down. And it's only a matter of time until you get hit down on gravel. Right now, they find themselves 1-0 down, and they've really not got anything to show for it this game either.
Yeah, Durham.
Not yet going their way.
0 shots on the board so far for Durham. 6 in favor of UEA. They've had all of the pressure so far. But they're looking like getting a counter-attack on the go here. Mordisha shuts that down quickly. Supreme didn't have the boost. Now he does. And he's got a lot of space as well. Just being a bother for the defenders of Durham. But counter-attack chance for them. Zouch can't get it far enough across to Mordisha. Maybe a little bit too fast on the first hit. Zouch going to have the first hit here, though. It's up high. Nobody's waiting for it. Supreme, that's a big whiff. And Hitchamps keeps it in with a nice touch. Mordisha can't get it low enough. Just comes off the crossbar. And UEA, first shot against them is a very convincing chance. The second one even more so. Zouch, how has that gone in just off the crossbar?
Yeah, Supreme gets pulled out for boost. Just a boomer, and I don't think KJ has any boost in net either. The reverse of the pressure coming out in favor of Durham for once. The miss really threw UEA off their rotations and left them boostless. Zouch with a great shot just below the crossbar, taking full advantage, but almost Supreme concede, and Supreme should have put that one away off the crossbar. Somehow Durham survive. That's a couple big opportunities wasted here in this game 4. And that one might just be sneaking all the way through. Zortea is back in time. But suddenly this game's gone from looking all UEA to really Durham having a great opportunity to take this one.
And I think it's all in Supreme. He's looking shaky, he's looking panicked almost. He's just not looking the consistent self that he's been this entire series. But here's a good chance in favor of UEA once again. KJ is going to send that back to the middle. 2 players just waiting in net for Durham. KJ tries to get that in front of Mordisha, but Mordisha's ready for it. Big 50, that's going to take 2 players out the way for UEA, but Zorti recovers nicely. And this could be the last attack chance before overtime for UEA. They won't want to be going to there, and they don't! Supreme! Just when I was saying he's looking a bit shaky, he proves me wrong. Inches away from the ground, but what a fantastic angle and fantastic shot from Supreme to give UEA that equalizing game.
What a way to take it. A game they should have had comfortably. They made a lot more work out of that one than it really should have been, but they've pushed through on the 0 seconds, didn't go to the dreaded overtime that has cost them twice so far in this series, and tie it up 2-2 apiece now. Now it's still 2 games required for either team to see who will be going on to the finals. And I think this is pretty much as you expected. It's anyone's game still, isn't it? But UEA looking still the stronger of the 2 teams, but as I said earlier in the series, whenever they mess up, Durham are ready to pounce instantly.
Yeah, I mean, you have to feel like this is kind of a mirror of UEA's season as a whole. I mean, they started off kind of slow. They didn't really challenge the National League at all. But then here they are up in the top 4, and they're just throwing out highlights. They've looked a bit more consistent, and they're really picking up some steam.
Yeah, they are, and they're throwing out a lot of jokes in chat. I've got to say, like, I almost had a moment where I just burst out laughing there on stream, but luckily I didn't cut you off. But no, it definitely looks like KJ's enjoying himself, to say the least. So that's a good sign for any UEA fan out there, and a good sign for the two players. But this is quite a big double commit coming out between Zorti and KJ. Once again, they're just a bit, I mean, you know, exactly what you said about this season. It happens in every game as well. They look a bit shaky on kickoff to start with, and then they remember how to play.
So the game is mirroring the series, which is mirroring the season. I mean, it's consistency from UEA. It's consistent inconsistency. That's that's a nice quote. Now Hitchamps needs to drop down. Tons of space. Not really challenged by anybody on UEA. Odisha gets the fake. That's going to give a shot chance to Zouch, but KJ solid as a rock at the back. Hitchamps back down off the corner. KJ. Oh, a bump from Zouch on Zorti. That's going to leave a great chance, but a fantastic save from Mordisha. Stops that opener from UEA. And Supreme tries to put another one back. That's both Zouch and Hitchamps up. KJ puts another one. That's going to bounce off the ceiling and threaten the net, but Zouch off the backboard gets the defense. Mordisha, the whiff, faking out Zorti. Supreme gets the dunk off the 50. KJ has another shot chance off the crossbar, and they are just peppering shots on Durham at the moment.
A lot of pressure coming through, but oh, just like that, a big whiff on the back. And as Durham have been doing all game long, taking full advantage of any mistake, the Preem can't make the read. No one back because the trust is so strong in this UEA side. And I think that's the only downside of having such strong trust and such aggressive rotations, is if you're only ever going to have one man back. If that is the man to unfortunately make the mistake, it will cost you. A good opportunity there for Durham, but just about cut down. Or cut out, I should say. And now, once again, UEA... Did they find themselves down at all in the games that they won? I think they might have done. Yeah, they did. In game 3, they went 1-0 down off the kickoff, but they quickly equalised.
Oh yeah, that is correct.
So they are not out of this at all, and Zouch is just sitting duck on the wall there watching that one. Hit chance with the quick shot, but a nice shot from Supreme, and yeah, Zouch can't do anything about that. Watching and hoping that he can get close enough.
Supreme has had the shooting angles in these last couple of games. We saw that, I mean, that 0-second winner from the last one. That's insane, the amount of power he managed to generate on that. And Hitchamps! Oh man, what a goal! All the way from his own corner. The one hit to the wall, the second hit to the backboard, and just enough boost to read that. Insane solo play from Hitchamps. Monster play, maybe?
Maybe indeed, but I just love how both these teams seem to be really enjoying themselves out there and scoring some banging goals. Making for a really good game.
You can tell from the bit of banter they've been having between games, both teams are loving this series. I think neither team are taking it too angrily. It's a good shot chance there, but nice tap from Mordisha. That's going to leave a free net for Supreme. Just sinks it below the bar, just under halfway through the game. And again, we find ourselves neck and neck.
Yeah, good placement again, keeping it away from Mordisha. This feels like if it doesn't go to Game 7, I will be disappointed right now, because I do not want this series to end. There is just action going on 24/7 right now. Another chance here for Supreme. The one you want in net. Mordisha reacting amazingly well to keep that one out, as that was a really awkward 50. But now, once again, coming the other way. Little bit of an opportunity there for Durham. Nothing quite leading from it. Hitchamps quickly up on that. KJ's awkward.
Oh, ouch.
Oh, this ball is stuck in front of the UEA goal, and KJ, thankfully for his teammate, to help out his teammates and just take that one away. Still, Durham are not done yet. They are peppering the back wall now. The other end, it's just trading of pressure.
A little bit more in favor of Durham, though, recently. They've been putting a lot of shots just wide of the UEA net. And with a minute and 30 left, that one's bouncing awfully close. Hit Champs. I gotta say, I was sleeping on him at the start of this series, but he's been alive this game. He has been key to all of these plays. And there's another big win, another follow, and another 50, just keeping that pressure on. Mordisha sends it to the middle. Zouch is going to be there, but Zorti pushes up nice and quick, gets that gun. And finally, a bit of a break for UEA on defense.
Yeah, they survived the pressure nicely there. Little bit lucky at times, as they just about got a man in the way, but sometimes a little bit of luck is what you need. A little bit of misfortune for the opposition. That is a nice little pass play. Zouch will clear that one away, and KJ's out of position here. The Preem will do well just to clear that one back to mid, but only to an awaiting Mordisha, and as the clock slowly keeps ticking down, we might be seeing an overtime, and so far, Durham are 2 for 2 in overtime, so I don't know if UEA really want it to go that way.
Yeah, they definitely want to be putting a goal away in this last 25 seconds, but Durham really haven't given them a chance. They've just been stifling everything they're trying to do. But despite that, they're holding on. 8 saves for Durham, 5 saves for UEA. It's been a defensive masterclass this game. Mordisha up awkwardly, taps out to the side. KJ is going to get the 50. That's Hit Champs out the way. Mordisha only the soft tap. That's going to bounce in a really awkward position for Zouch. Supreme keeps it up high. Zorti is going to try and send that back to the middle. Hit Champs is going to want to get this down, but KJ can't quite get to it first. And we find our 3rd overtime of the series. Let's see if UEA can break this curse that they've had themselves in so far in these situations.
Yeah, game 5 here. KJ will instantly put that one down. You are quickly answered there, Drumzors. The question not going begging for long. Zouch could not make the read off the back wall. KJ, quick little alteration as he saw Zouch flying past and pops that one home. Now UEA, after being 2-0 down in the series, find themselves up on match point, and they want to see this off 4-2. And I think they can, you know. I think they can. It's going to be close, though. But, yeah, as we were saying about the saves, 8 for Durham. A lot of defending they've had to do so far in this series, in this game, and in the last 2 games especially now, as the pile... sorry, my words, I lost them completely there. The pressure has been piled on by UEA. 12 shots here in this game, and it's looking good for UEA especially. They've been times when, you know, they've had to just relieve the pressure. They've sat back a little bit, and then Durham have been all out on them, but as soon as they're on the offense, they look the stronger team.
It's been interesting, even Supreme wants a game 7. Even though if he wins this game, he goes he goes through to the final 4-2, he still wants game 7 for the script. And I want game 7 as well. These teams, either of them deserves to take it. I think UEA, they're up on games and they're up on goal difference as well. But even that stat has been insanely close. I think it's only 2 goals ahead over the whole series for UEA. I can't call this anymore. I know that UEA have the game advantage, but Durham, they're owed this game. This deserves to go to a final decider.
Well, game 6 now. We know Durham, or UEA on the other hand, are a bit slow to begin with. And that is exactly what Durham are doing, mounting on the pressure early. Zouch with an unorthodox touchback to the midfield after missing the first hit, but Mordisha can only just pop that one forwards. And as we've seen in the last couple of games, UEA doing a better job of keeping their net ball free within the first few seconds.
Zorti, not the best tap down, but fantastic 50 from KJ, which is back towards Mordisha, who has been just insanely solid as that third player at the back. KJ He's up nice and quick for this, but so is Supreme, going for another double to his name, just faked out by Zouch though. Zouch not really getting these defensive touches that he's after. Odisha over to Supreme at the back. That's a great tap from Zorti. Tries to find Supreme on the backboard, but a little bit slow now. Hitchamps demoed as he tries to get a counter-attack going. Zouch tries to continue on, but shut down by KJ. Odisha can only sail past the ball and sail back past it again. The 50. Oh, that's a backflip from Zorti. That almost just arced its way in. But UEA now find themselves on the back foot.
Still, this game going very much the way that the series has gone. So much back and forth play. Chances appearing for both teams, but just full on aggression. I mean, for whoever makes it through to the final, I'd be surprised if they have energy left after this one, because it has been an all-out series. Hitchamps just misses the bump on the keeper. Now Zotea has a one-on-one. Gets
what a
a
shot.
clanger into the top of the net. Catches that perfectly on the volley. And just like that, after almost a goal for Durham, UEA punch back right the other way and find themselves on a 1-0 lead.
Zouch caught out on the near post. And you know that once Zotea had that first controlling hit, there was no saving the shot that he was ripping. And UEA, they're in pole position now to take this series. Odisha, that's not the best controlling touch. It's straight over to Zouch. Zouch looked awkward there. The hit up is straight to Zorti. KJ with the bumps in net, but nothing coming of them. And Odisha tries to pinch that one in, catches out through Preem, who had to wait for the demo, and that's a quick response from Durham.
Very nice play from Odisha. Supreme, yeah, just realizing that the demo is coming in for him, couldn't quite position himself as he would have liked. And because of that, the pinch will sneak through. And just as you were saying on Zouch and being a bit unsure of himself with some of the reads, he has switched cars from the Fennec to the Octane. Not that it makes much of a difference in terms of hitbox, but a little bit of placebo to maybe try and just reset himself here in a crucial game now that they find themselves tied up in. However, UEA right back on the offense here, looking to try and get something.
Zorti forced with the clear. Odisha tries to go for the shot, but just nicely blocked by KJ. Lands on the ball, keeps the pressure in favor of Durham. Wow. Awkward spot there. Took two defenders to pinch it away for UEA. Odisha goes for the bump on KJ instead of the ball. Gives the ball over to Hitchamps. That's such a strange hit off the ceiling. Manages to get the pinch towards net, but nothing coming of it. And Odisha gets another shot chance. That's leathering towards the top corner, but Zorti's up nice and quick. Hitchamps takes it towards the middle. Two players up. Bit of a rotational mishap there for Durham, and not the best hit from Hitchamps. It's going to leave the counter-attack chance for UEA.
Oh,
and
it's
an
a big
open net for
miss.
Zorti. Almost hits the post, but catches it nicely. 1 minute 40 left. UEA regain the lead.
Hitchamps with a bad touch, to be honest, in midfield. He really should have just decided to come back to net, gain a bit of boost, and then try and turn as the third man. Instead, flick that to middle. They had the chance to get away with it, but Odisha couldn't make contact on the back wall either. And now they find themselves needing a goal with only 1 minute and 30 to go. So there's a lot of pressure now mounting on Durham. They really need to get something going in their favor. This might be the chance. The bounce shot just cut out by KJ, but straight back in, and it's off the crossbar.
Oh.
And
What a
another one
save.
off the post. A great save from Supreme. All this pressure coming through, but not quite working out. Somehow UEA get away with it there.
Yeah, they've had a lot of pressure against them, but the saves have been clutch in this last minute. That's a nice little pop from Supreme. That's going to be an awkward shot and the own goal. Oh dear. Oh, you hate to see it from Durham.
It's not much really that could have been done from Zouch there. It's just tried to keep himself involved in the play on the front post. Maybe should have rotated out, and that would just be going up on the wall. It's such an unfortunate 50 that it takes, but they now found themselves needing two with a goal with 40 seconds to go, but there is a goal. Just like that, Supreme gifts them one back. A huge whiff, but they almost messed it up with the bump as well. Hitchamp somehow getting it through after being bumped by Mordicia. Now 42 seconds to find one more. This game has just gone up in flames. Who knows what is going on right now?
One goal separates Durham defenders from the overtime that they desperately need at the moment. That's a fantastic pass from Zouch. Almost got the bump on KJJ, but KJ does well to stay composed. And now Hitchamps has no boost. Stays composed, gets the 50 with Zorti. Zouch pushing up behind. That's just Mordicia left at the back. Has to get this over 2 players. Almost gets it over 1. Supreme beaten out in the air by Zouch. KJ, that's a crucial win. Zouch can only tap it to the side, but Zorti's waiting. They need to get this counterattack on the go now. Hitchamps tries to get that up. Oh, it's into the middle. KJ's awkward. Gets the clear. Who's waiting there? It's Mordicia. The tap out by Zorti. It's bouncing. Zouch has to control this, but he's bumped by Hitchamps. And KJ's just going to let it drop in clutch fashion. Centimeters away at times. UEA are your second Northern League finalists.
What a series between these two teams. Durham defenders starting out the stronger of the two. But once UEA got on their roll, they got the 4 in a row that they needed. But my gosh, did they fight for those last 2. Some really close moments. I think the 0-second goal, probably the highlight one of them all. And the one that UEA probably were able to run off the most. And maybe just the downer that Durham had. So unfortunate. If they played anyone else, they would have made it through here. But UEA just proving too strong. A great series. And I really hope we get more of that now in the final.
I mean, we're up against 2 teams that just coordinate so well together. Obviously, Scout Sports, we saw them beat out Rocket Leeds just sheerly on team solidity. And UEA, a few more highlight plays, mainly from Supreme and a couple from KJ. But still, incredible coordination, great communication. And I feel like whatever we see in the final, it's going to be a spectacle.
Yeah, we should hopefully be in for a treat. Both these teams, I don't think they've been respective winners of anything as well. I mean, Scout Sports are a brand new team. And UEA, pretty much as well, also a brand new team. At least a brand new competitive team with the implementation of KJ at the start of this season. So they will be wanting their first silverware as such to represent their universities. And yeah, they don't have much of a history. So, you know, it'll be nice to have something to go off of their debut seasons, really, as a 3. So we will be getting that final through to you after a quick break. But I mean, if that last game's anything to go by, this one should be a cracker. You really don't want to miss this, guys. We will see you in just a moment. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final game of the night, the grand finals of the regional Northern playoffs. And here we have Scout Sports, the game we saw first off against UEA, the big winners in the last one. I'm still Princey. I'm still joined by Drumzels, of course.
Correct.
We are correct. And, this should be a good game.
This should be a good game. Obviously, we just saw a very, very back and forth series between UEA and Durham. And UEA coming the victors out of that, but it feels like it could have gone either way at multiple times. But UEA, my goodness, they're looking strong. They're looking comfortable. And Scout Sports, that we first saw them a pretty commanding, a pretty dominating, almost 4-0 win against Rocket Leeds in the first series of the evening. Their team plays and just their communications looked clean. Two very scary teams at the moment, and I think it's fitting that these two should be the finalists.
Oh, for sure. I think the difference is Scout Sports didn't really get tested much. No offense to Rocket Leeds, but you know, they didn't really have a plan of attack. It was sort of just, let's play and see what happens. Whereas Scout Sports were patient and they counterattacked to perfection. They will probably need to do that a lot here because we saw a lot of pressure coming out from UEA in that past series against Durham. And just a few interesting points. The names. It's not quite what we had in mind for the guy called Zort. It is Zortea, as in with a Y, A-Y-A.
Oh, it is?
How you would like it pronounced. Zortea, yeah. So actually, I was correct, yeah. It's the same way around. And KJJC would like to be just called KJ as well. So
okay,
that is something else he has asked for. I've told them to join if they would like, but for now they wait. But yes, it is indeed Zortea.
So what you've been telling me is 2/3 of the UEA team I've been calling the wrong thing this entire time. Because I've been opting for KJJ, I've been opting for Zorti. Next you're going to tell me it's pronounced like Thuprame or something.
Thuprame.
Thuprame.
No, he is still the same name. You can't really go wrong. Got a lisp.
Yeah.
You're pronounced.
Yeah, I'll fix that one for this next series, but I know that in our predictions, we before this whole thing, we were asked to name a couple of predictions. I backed UEA as winning both their semi-final game and winning this final game. You yourself backed Scout Sports.
I did. And to be honest, a little bit unsure because of how good UEA looked towards the final two games, but they scraped through those final two games, I'm not going to lie. Like, they looked good, but so did Durham. The problem is that Scout Sports haven't really been tested, so we don't quite know yet what they're made of and if they're up to the standards shown in the previous series. If they are, this could go either way, and we could see one of us standing happy and proud with the team we predicted to win at the end of it. Or, you know, one of us will be hiding away after game 2 thinking, why have I predicted this team to win? It'll be interesting. And the jokes instantly coming out again from KJ. The other two joining in as well.
KJ started off with, we meet again. These two teams have played each other a few times over league play. And they played again. They played in week 2, they played in week 3, they played in week 4. Every single time, Scout Sports has come out on top. Both in week 2 and week 3, 3-1, and in week 4 they came out 3-0. So a lot of history between these two.
Yeah,
but at the same time, we've been saying how UEA have taken a long time to get any steam going. This is a whole different team than Scout Sports have played before. This is UEA looking better than they've looked probably the entire season. So I think it's going to be a surprising start for Scout Sports I don't know how well they're going to adapt, but all I know is it's going to be a good start.
Yeah, it's, I mean, the one thing we had from the last series that UEA probably got a little bit better at, the games 5 and 6, was their slow starts. They looked a little bit iffy. I'm going to be calling Stock Sock now because he's clearly just asked me not to. So, that is something that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see this on stream, but there's a lot of banter going on in the game chat. There's a lot of banter going on in the Steam chat. In the game chat, sorry.
Well, after a quick loo break for one of the players, they seem to have been... they seem to be back, and we are going to get this grand final underway for the North. These teams want to have that, I guess, quote-unquote silverware, at least just bragging rights at the end of it. And they have one series to show what they are made of. We, of course, still have Scout Sports being Liverpool John Moores University in the blue side, and then UEA being the University of East Anglia on the red. 30 seconds gone. Pretty even so far.
Yeah, a bit more pressure for Scout Sports starting out here. Cosmic almost gets a lovely 50 with Supreme. Stock sends it back to the corner. KJ tries to get it round Pred, but can't quite. Stock up again on the wall. Tries to go for the ceiling pinch, but can't quite get high enough. That's 2 players forced out there for UEA. Cosmic almost gets the shot. Another 2 players on the defense. A few double commits here from UEA. Despite the fact that they just played, they're looking slightly shaky.
Maybe the fact that they've only ever taken 1 game off these guys in the previous series is a little bit worrying for some. They might be a little bit nervy. Not too sure quite what to have to pull out of the bag for this one, but I mean, they went 2-0 down in series score before, waking up against Durham and really showing what they were worth. But then again, I say that, they were both overtime. So, it was really unfortunate that they didn't take one earlier. So far, they're holding on fine. There's not been too much, really, to scare them. Just, as you said, a few double commits that maybe will just clean out as the series goes on.
Tell you one thing, it looks like Scout Sports, when they are in offense, they are all in. They're looking quite pushed up. That's a good chance there for KJ in the middle. Pred just gets there in time. That's going to pinch nicely over to Cosmic. Supreme with the read, the dunk. Stock is left standing, and the first goal of the series goes to UEA.
Oh, I just spotted his name, Thuwu Puimi.
Oh, don't say it. Please don't say it.
Oh, that is the only time I'm going to repeat that. He is still supreme, and a nice quick read to give them the 1-0 lead there against the run of play. They soaked up a lot of pressure, but they pushed through now. That's a good chance for Stock to drop the ball down there. Couldn't just make the touch. It's unfortunate. But still,
just above the net.
Oh, this is just an open net. I think he's put it wide though. Oh. He has, but it will not cost him. Still beats out Supreme in net. And we are tied at the exact halfway point of this game.
God, Supreme was so close onto that. Stock put it wide. We all know those situations when you're faced with a long shot open net. Put it just a little off. But manages to recover and get the equalizing goal with half the game left.
Oh,
they were back and forth now. Cosmic gifted another open net. UEA are just giving them away.
That was a brilliant 1-2 pass. Really speedy, and KJ not expecting that as the third man, just a little bit off the line. Quick counter, and the second goal for Scout Sports goes in at 2:22. Rather fitting. I do like when the numbers add up, but they will now make that a third. Something has happened to UEA. They have just collapsed.
KJ just back and forth across the post. Doesn't make the read. Thought it was going in. Thought he had to make a goal line save, but was just left a flying. And like you say, Scout Sports have just come out of nowhere and gotten themselves a 2-goal lead in this game number 1.
Well, it was a big double commit there from them, but they get away with that, and now they're trying to make it even. That one could have been it. KJ with a big miss, but the Scout Sports player, I think, was trying to predict the read off him. This game just really been flipped on its head in favor of Scout Sports. They had the pressure at the start. Oh my God!
Stock!
So unfortunate.
How has that not gone in?
That one away.
I can understand the shot not going in. It was a crazy angle, but the follow-up, you've got to be finding that. And then a counter-attack chance now.
Oh, the quick one.
I was going to say the counter-attack for UEA, but the counter-attack from Liverpool John Moores. And then the counter-attack. It's tennis now between the two teams. Oh, and that's 40 love in favour of Scout Sports.
Well, not quite. There's one.
40-15.
40-15. There you go. Yeah. But yeah, suddenly Scout Sports looking unstoppable. I don't know. There is clearly this little bug sat in the back of the minds of UEA because, as you were saying, like against Durham, I think the speed of the play was very similar to what it is now, or maybe just even a little bit faster. But they suddenly look like a team that have no idea how to play with each other, and they're just missing everything and really unsure where to be on the field. Scout Sports are taking full advantage. That was a rifle from Cosmico. They're comfortable now in this game 1, 4-1 down. Hopefully, we will see UEA grow in this series, because this will be a rather anticlimactic grand finals to what was such a great semi-final just before.
Well, I mean, we said that UEA always been a team with a slow start. This is just a fresh new series. I think they've gone for the full mental reset. And given a couple of games, I reckon this should be a pretty good series. But Zutti, that's not a good hit. Straight back towards KJ. Stark is going to get that one off the ceiling. Red's going to keep it nice and high. Cosmic bounces it down. But if any kind of counter-attack were to happen now, it would be too little too late. Scout Sports, in commanding fashion, take game number 1.
They look too good for UEA right now. And, you know, maybe that's the fact that they are in the same Discord server as their Liverpool counterparts, the Arctic Foxes. They share a Discord server. This is actually, I believe, the only esports that Liverpool John Moores are involved in any game within the NSE or anywhere else for that matter. And one thing we do know is this team, they scrim the Arctic Foxes, who are a National League side, who have made it quite far. They're into the semi-finals of the Challenger bracket, which is, you know, they've reached the top 10 of all teams in the NSE. So having that as a team that you are scrimming against, you're playing against, you're fighting against. I know that Cosmico was playing with 2 of those guys just yesterday, actually, in ranked, as I had the unfortunate time of coming up against them and losing to them. But no, they look really, really solid right now. Cosmico with a brilliant performance there in that game 1. And it all depends if UEA wake up.
Yeah, it seems like they spent the entire last series just waking up. They were on maximum energy at the ending of it, and then suddenly they've just taken a little midday nap. So they need to get some of that composure back, some of that awareness in defense. But they've got plenty of time to do so. We're still in the best of 7s, so a maximum of 6 games left. Zorti, big hit, doesn't have any boost. Nobody's going to be able to follow that from either team. That's just going to bounce slowly along the midfield. The 50 finds its way over to KJ. Gets it off the corner. Has the read once again. What a recovery from KJ. Outstanding opening goal for UEA.
Yeah, nice 50. Falls in a good position, but feathers the boost to perfection. He is woken up from the siesta. It has given him the energy needed now, and that was a Brilliant first goal there. Got that little bit of Spanish bim bam maybe coming through. Is a little bit fortunate in a way to have, ended up in that position after the 50-50, but took full advantage. And that's what you need right now if you're UEA. A little bit of fortune going your way.
I mean, talk about a little bit. How about a lot? That ball should not have lingered for as long as it did in front of the Scout Sports net. But just nobody was near. Pred went up for it far too late, but couldn't get any kind of challenge on it. And UEA, in almost complete reverse of what we saw last game, are now 2 goals ahead and pressuring the net for a third.
Yeah, they've suddenly... I mean, I don't think they've turned on the pressure. Scout Sports just look a little wobbly at the back right now. The first goal, it happens. It's one of those. You could probably throw in 1 or 2 of those in every series that happens in every, walk of rank. But the second one, definitely just a miscommunication. Everyone was leaving it for each other. And now they find themselves at a 2-goal deficit. Fortunately for them, there's plenty of time left here in this game too. They just need to wake up a little bit, as now they've opted to go to sleep. That was a brilliant shot from Zotea, but now they find themselves on the open net, and Pred says, thank you very much. I will bring this back within 1, as KJ just ran for their corner boost. I'm not too sure why. He maybe thought it was just going in, didn't realize it was hitting the post, but the third man became no man. Pred says thank you. Scout Sports are within 1.
Bit too much of that bim bam, maybe pushing up for the boost, leaving absolutely nobody at the back. But they still have that 1-goal cushion. 3 whole minutes for something to happen, and that's an open net gifted in return. Supreme getting the insurance bump onto Cosmic, and UEA back to 2 goals up.
Yeah, maybe on the previous one, KJ had his siesta and his monster quickly following. But now, that was a nice open net with a clear for Zotea. And 3-1, a little bit of comfort. This is a lot more like we saw in the series against Durham now, where it's very back and forth. And I think that's how UEA like it. They just like charging down everything, just trying to beat out the men, and then finding the quick passing plays to take full advantage of a defense that is not quite yet set up.
Yeah, we're seeing almost a complete reverse of last game. If UEA gets 1 more goal, and they're looking like they're about to with an awkward touch there from Cosmic, then Supreme makes sure it is that 4-1 scoreline, and UEA have done the flip side to what they received last game.
And on top of it all, there is still 2 minutes left in this game to make it worse for Scout Sports. As for all the pressure they had in that game 1, they just look lost. But then, if they can actually wake up, find themselves, and regain their composure, rather than side flipping as we see there from Pred, there is time still to get back into this one and, cause a bit of concern here for UEA. They've just got to start connecting with the ball.
Yeah, that's a great connection there from Cosmic. What a fantastic save from KJ. Stock couldn't get the hit on it. I thought for sure that was a goal. I don't know how he's kept that out so well. But UEA keep their 3-goal lead and go straight back to the counter-attack. Cosmic gonna send that up the pitch. Stock's gonna be on the end of it, but fantastic block from Supreme keeps that out of danger. It's KJ flying past the ball. Supreme sends it to the corner. Pred's gonna have a shot chance here, but a little bit too wide. Stock's gonna get one, but blocked by Zorti before it can go anywhere. Now Supreme gets the block that's straight down to KJ. KJ only has to get this middle. He's got players with him. Stock sends it to the corner. Zorti 50's out too. That's gonna be an open net. Supreme can only tap into the middle, though. It was a tough angle to get behind. And with a minute left, this is looking like UEA's game too.
It is, but what's good for Scout Sports is they finally found themselves back to where they were looking in game one. That was a good opportunity for Supreme. Nice passing play here. Sortea looking to come over the top. Can't quite do it. But this game, back and forth. This is setting us up nicely for a game 3 close matchup. As it pretty much looks set now that UEA will be taking this game 2 here and tying up the series 1-1. Unless they absolutely fall apart, but there is only 15 seconds to go, so that looks highly unlikely.
There's only so dramatically you can fall apart in such little time. But yeah, much more commanding performance from UEA. They've shored up some of those defensive mistakes they had at the back last game. They're looking more like themselves from the end of that last series against Durham. And if they keep playing like this, then I think it's their series to win.
It definitely would look that way based off the stats and the score. 3 shots apiece for each of the UEA players. That's 9 to only 3 in total from Scouse Sports. They definitely had the run of the mill when it came to pressure, when it came to shots. But towards the end, Scouse Sports did look a lot more solid. It became very back and forth. So it's I don't know. I'm not too sure how this game 3 is going to go. I think if Scouse Sports get a bit of early pressure going, just, you know, reawaken that shaky start that UEA had, just try and put a few nerves back in there, then maybe we see a Scouse Sports take this next one again.
Yeah, I feel like once you start getting confident, then you start getting a bit too overconfident. But UEA, I don't think that's an issue that could plague them. I think they've shown nothing but solidity in their rotations up until this point. But Scouse Sports, there's a few different sort of. I think they lacked a bit of trust towards the end of that second game, which could be an issue that might take them further into the series. But based on what we've seen so far, do you think it's going to be more of a UEA series or more of a Scouse Sports one?
I mean, the way that the 2 games have gone so far, you know, you could almost say that they were both feeling each other out. Scouse Sports had the first one, sat back a little bit. UEA had a bit of a... They got a bit blown out in game 1. They woke up a bit, and then, you know, they had the... So I think it's hard to really judge how this will go. I think this next game probably be a lot closer, as long as the 2 teams play to what we've seen from their stronger matches. But it really, I don't know, it depends on if they're, you know, if they're playing up to scratch. If maybe one of the teams decides to switch it up a bit, add a few demos in there. We saw UEA go for a few bump and demo plays previously in the series against Durham, so they've got that in the locker. We haven't seen much of that yet against Scouse Sports, but I think Scouse Sports also like a bit of a bump and demo. So there's positives going for both teams. It's still a long series because we're tied up at 1 and it's the best 7. One of the teams still has to go and win 3 more, so we have at least 3 more games to bring you. We're just waiting on the players to rejoin us. I do believe we had the server go down for maintenance, even though I was the only one left alone in that, so it didn't affect me. But
the servers have been very shaky recently. I think the influx of all the people online, staying safe, which it's got to be done. But like a point I made in the last series is that where everyone's staying inside a lot more, a lot of these teams can have some more practice together. So the quality of play is probably, you know, just shot up for everyone. And you can see from some of these team coordinations that are coming out that they've had some good practice time together. Now, I think, yeah, Scout Sports in particular, in series number 1 that we saw them in against Rocket Leeds, they looked a bit more coordinated than they do at the moment. I think maybe UEA getting into their heads a little bit. They know that UEA is a very, very strong team, obviously, as they're matching them here in the final, but I think maybe they're giving them a little bit too much stock.
I mean, I think, to be honest, it's just that although the speed's similar to the previous game, we see UEA attacking with direction. They're not just attacking the ball for the sake of attacking the ball, which is what I think we saw a lot from Leeds. So with the direction, with trying to set up the teammates, having the close support but not double committing, you've got so many different outlets on offense that you can go for the solo play, you can drop it for your teammate, you can even hold the ball up a second, let one rotate out, bring the third man in, add that other dimension instead. Whereas Leeds was all just focused down the tunnel on the train tracks kind of thing, and it's easy to put a block up and just be like, no, you're not going that way.
Well, starting off a bit more in favour of Scout Sports this third game. That one's going to roll awkwardly towards the middle. Supreme can only play it back out to a waiting Pred. 50 catches out Sorte a bit. Who gets a nice one to middle. Supreme was given an open net there. Pred is nowhere near, and fantastic tap from Supreme. If he couldn't get it on target, he had to get it to the middle, and KJ was there all day long.
Yeah, not too sure if he meant the pass, but just sticking it in the dangerous area, whether it goes in, whether it stays around. If you got a teammate lurking nearby, is always going to be a big opportunity. Pred had to block the shot if it came, so there's not much else he could have done there. Just unfortunately for him, he had a man hot on the heels of the ball in KJ, and UEA keeping this offense going so far, but this is a big own goal from Supreme. He did not read that whatsoever. And there's some thanks coming out from Pred. asking any friends to clip that if they can. He wants this to go a while. He will tie up the series in favour of Scout Sports. Maybe trying to get in an early transfer. Who knows? But actually, he's only got to hit the post. KJ is there to clean up. I thought he was just going to go and smack one right back in the other end. Almost did. Unfortunately for him, doesn't go straight in. But once again, KJ with a quick follow-up, a second man.
Oh, it's been a turbulent 20 seconds for Supreme. But UEA still find themselves a goal ahead. And, yeah, my favourite part of this series is everyone's having a good laugh. Everyone's having a good time. There's a lot of respect and a lot of camaraderie almost between these two teams. I think both of them know that whatever happens, they've played a fantastic season.
Yeah, it's nice to see because there's been a good few teams with a lot of egos. Players saying, no, I'm not playing anymore because we're not winning enough, and things like that going on. So it's nice to see players like just fully getting along with each other and getting along with their opponents as well.
Yeah, it's all too easy to vilify the people you're playing against. So having a good laugh is very important. Supreme taps that down to Stock. Stock tries to find Cosmic with the pass. Cosmic was waiting for a ceiling hit, but one never arrived. Now KJ is going to send that high up off the backboard. That's awkward for Stock, but he does very well to stay on that and get a second hit. Cosmic, that's two defenders out the play. So KJ is up nice and quick. Pred's going to have a chance here for the 50. Can't get the recovery for the second tap. KJ in a 2-on-1. Gets the 50 over to Zorti. Zorti could go for the ceiling shot here. Does do. Oh, it's over Cosmic. It's finding its way to the top corner. Pred had to react to that so late, but manages to get the save. And UEA are still putting all the pressure on, despite being a goal ahead.
Well, yeah, if your playstyle's working and it's going well for you, don't switch it up. There's no need to break something or to try and fix something that's still working, is there?
I mean, if it broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
That's the more condensed version.
That's what I was looking for.
There's the response that Scout Sports were waiting for. Pred gets the bounce down off the ceiling that he was looking for. Supreme, awkward tap to the middle. Pred's there, nice and quick. And that's 2 goals you have to feel like as a result of Supreme.
He's playing both teams. He's playing both sides. He's just making it interesting. Being his own man. You have 3 teams on the pitch. You got Scout Sports, you got UEA, and then you got Supreme. Now, he is still obviously on the side of UEA as far as... So he will want to be trying to find another goal. However, they are currently a little bit pegged back right now. 2-2 a minute, 20 to go. I mean, for their sake, they don't want an overtime because as far as we're aware, overtime's bad for them and they lose. But right now, that is what we're looking at.
Yeah, this is definitely the closest game we've seen so far. Both the previous 2 ended up as 4-1 in favor of either team, but that's slowly rolling towards the open net. Just a defensive cluster. All 3 players pushing up on that ball for Scout Sports, and that should not be happening.
And once again, the Preem getting involved with this one. He has had an assist or goal for he's been involved with every goal field so far. Keeping it up nicely. And yeah, that goal probably shouldn't have happened. Just too eager to push up, try find the winner in regulation time for Scout Sports. But they've now given themselves the hard task of trying to find one more in only 30 seconds to tie the series, or tie the scoreline up to keep this series tied a little bit longer.
It's Ortega over to the corner. Cosmic can't get the tap around KJ. KJ can get the demo on stock though. That's got to send Cosmic back into the play. But look at that control. Just mitigates any counter-attack that UEA could have had. Even manages to keep it in despite the challenge. But the pinch sent back towards Cosmic. That's going to be awkward for UEA to deal with, but nobody's around for Scout Sports. That's just going to drop. And in game number 3, UEA take the lead.
They take the lead in 2-1 now in the series, and they do the thing that they haven't been able to do previously throughout the whole season, and that's take 2 games off of Scout Sports. Yes, they've only previously been best of 5s, but even so, this is a bit of a statement from them now. Scout Sports maybe finally realized that they have a bit more of a tough matchup, you know, than what previous results and previous experience against this side has led them to believe. As we've been saying, like, UEA finally look like the team are beginning to gel. They're beginning to bond. They're looking strong. Supreme, when he's on it, he's looking amazing. When he's not on it, he's looking amazing for the other team. So who knows?
Yeah, definitely a few things that Supreme needs to sort out. But it's a bad game. Bad games can happen. And at the end of it, they still came away with a victory. So it's quite a statement that a player can score an own goal and pass it down for another one and still come away with a victory.
Well, he was involved with all 3 goals for his team as well. So even though he made the mistakes, he made up for them. And they took the game in good fashion, holding out a little bit at the end, but, you know, nothing really scary in the 0 seconds. They're now 2-1 up in the series. Only need 2 more games here to take the title of Northern Regional Champions. Question is, can they do it?
I mean, they started off last series a little bit slow. They've started off this game, not the best either, as Stock just gifted an easy chance, just had to get around KJ. And that's 11 seconds in. Scout Sports find themselves the opener.
Yeah, it's the typical play we saw in their last series against Durham, should we say. You know, very unfortunate that they're just a bit sleepy on kickoff. They just take a little bit. Well, that's a nice touch from Zortea. Can't quite get anything. They're just a bit amused on the other game so far. That it is 2-2 between Hertfordshire White and Southampton. As in case you guys were not aware, the Southern games have been going on at the same time as these Northern matches over on YouTube, I believe. But oh my God, Cosmico! What was that?
Not the best touch from... Oh, he got bumped into it! I don't believe it! He just says Lamau in chat. He can't believe it either. That's a fantastic read from just a recover for that from Cosmic, but almost handed that second goal. And now UEA find themselves on the back foot.
2-0 down, and they're starting to push for goals. That's left that one open. Pred couldn't quite stick it on target, but big double commits actually coming out from both teams. Demos as well flying through as players are just flinging themselves at the ball and taking out each other in the process. This game has just gone full pedal to the metal right now. Not quite working out in favor of UEA.
Ooh.
Cosmico just about gets that one off the post.
KJ.
And yeah, it's just a lot of pressure right now from Scout Sports. Suddenly, after a little bit of nothing, they are back with a bang.
I don't understand how these teams, they're looking so off, and then all of a sudden they're looking so on in the next game. It's very all or nothing right now in these games. So there's 2 goals in favor of Scout Sports. Let's see if UEA can react to that, or if they can, or if they'll continue to fall apart like they did in game number 1. It's 2 players up from Scout Sports.
Yeah, I think it's just hard to keep yourself at 100% for a full 5 minutes. It's a lot of concentration required. So, you know, you start off early and you get the lead, and then you sort of settle back into a bit of a comfort zone where you can just hold the score as it is. And because the other team have to push, you know, then you're pretty set for a nice little bit of counter-attacking, and they've got to extend themselves and push themselves out of position. But when you start again, because the fact it's a clean and fresh restart, if you can be the team to grab that little bit of offense and be like, right, guys, wake up, we're going, we've got this, then, you know, it's all for you. You can pick up a couple early goals, as we've seen here for Scout Sports, and then they've sort of just sat back into the comfort plays where they're doing like the 80 to 90%.
Oh, the
Actually,
fake!
that one goes through. Cosmico doesn't make the touch. And Pred, maybe he knew it, maybe he didn't. Sneaks that one through. 3-0 now to Scout Sports.
The thing is, Zortea had to respect the shot from Cosmic. He was there first. He's been so consistent these games. You have to expect that he's going to be shooting that. Now, a bit of the counter-attack. Well, counter-attack off the kickoff from UEA. Dupreme sends it into the middle. KJ's up quick. That might just bounce in. He's blocked it, I
what a
think.
save.
Zorti has the shot, puts it wide. Dupreme to the bottom corner. Nobody can stop that. UEA had a lot of chances there to try and put one home. They finally found one.
Yeah, I mean, that really should have been put through by Zortea in the first place. But because the ball ended up going to the side of his 2 teammates, one of them was able to rotate back through and give themselves a bit of a lifeline here to maybe bring this series, or this game, back to overtime, and possibly stop it from being tied up once again. But what a touch from Stock, just throwing that one right down the other end.
Yeah, I think after that goal from UEA, I think the main thing that Scout Sports need right now is time. And that
Fred's
is
really
not
pushed himself.
at all what they need. Both players from Scout Sports just caught napping. Nobody even on the end of that. Zortea puts it back to 1 below.
Yeah, it didn't even look... that was weird from Pred. It looked like he hadn't even, you know, clocked what was going on in the game. The fact that you had 2 players from UEA charging down on his net until it was too late, and then he found himself out of position. But this is great for UEA now, bringing it back within 1. However, they find themselves in a bit of an awkward position here with an overcommit. The Preem does pretty well there. Keep that one away, and now they've got 50 seconds to try find an equalizer to dampen these Scout Sports hearts. Pull it to an overtime. Oh my god, Pred's just stuck it in his own... He is pulling the Supreme from the last game.
I can't believe
that is a
it.
painful one.
That's so unbelievably heartbreaking for Scout Sports. They had a good lead, and suddenly it's just blown away in the worst fashion possible. Now, this looks like UEA's game. They are just all over this at the moment. That's another open net.
Oh, he's
KJ's
missed it!
What is this game? Both teams have just thrown it away. Pred gets a shot up high. Zortea's there on the backboard. Stock only play with that. I think they'll be looking for overtime here after that last goal. Pred's gone sailing by that one. That's 2 players on the ball there for UEA. 5 seconds left. And that's an awkward spot to deal with. Supreme, that's not a very useful touch as Pred stayed down. He's put it up high. That's the shot chance for Stock. He's put it off the top corner. It goes to overtime. That is shattering for Scout Sports.
This game shouldn't be in overtime right now. I mean, it should never have got to the point where UEA were able to tie up the series, but Scout Sports redeem themselves. 4-3 they make it. As just a complete breakdown on the backline from UEA. Cosmico sums it up perfectly in chat. This game was a shambles. Somehow Scout Sports pull it through and tie up the series 2-2, but I have no idea what we've just witnessed.
I'm kind of in shock, to be honest. I've never seen all 3 players in defense fall apart so thoroughly as UEA did there at the end. They played a very good game. The comeback looked like it was on from that slightly fortunate goal off the top of Pred. And then KJ missed the open net. And after that overtime, I've no idea how the series is going now. It's 2-2 in games. It's down to a best of 3. Should I say a worst of 3?
Maybe. I mean, they're still having good fun in the chat with each other. They're throwing out some interesting comments. But who knows how this one's going to end up. Honestly, I don't think you can predict this because it just seems like whichever team gets ahead, they just end up deciding to throw. And like, yeah, so we don't want to win this. Oh, wait, no, we do want to win this. And then it's like, wait, who wants to win this? That's what I feel like is going through the 2 players' heads, Sayo. You've got no idea what's going on. We've got no idea what's going on. We're just bringing you content, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. Because however weird it is, we are too.
Thankfully, that game has kind of been the exception. This has been a very solid series so far. But it doesn't matter who scores first. It doesn't matter who's ahead halfway through the game. All that matters is that last man in defense, I think it looks like. Because it's all coming down to them a lot of the time. KJ tries to get the block. That's a fantastic pinch from 2 players on Scout Sports. Leaves Supreme just on the ball. Cosmic. Smart backflip, backing out of that. Now on the back rotation. Pred chooses to leave that. Gives a bit of time to Zortea. But the ball played directly back down to Pred. KJ, that one's going to bounce directly to middle. He's going to be up first. Great speed off the ceiling bounce from KJ. And he opens it up for UEA this time.
A little bit of normality coming back through here. Some great speed from KJ on that one. Nice speedy play. Gets down to that one quickly off the wall and a good shot. UEA find themselves up 1-0 in really what should have been the deciding game after they got Scout Sports to fall apart. But we are down to the best of 3 equivalent, as you said, as we have at least 2 more games to go, maybe 3. That's a nice pinch between the 2. Cosmico's up so quickly on that one as well. Oh, but double commit from Pred and Stock. And now if the Preem can be fast enough, he's got an open net. Cosmico gets back in time, makes a good save.
Good chances on either side there. Of course, Scout Sports the ones in need of the goal. But that pinch finding Cosmic immediately in the air. But that's going to leave Scout Sports actually scrambling on defense for a little bit. 2 players were up for the clear. Pred gets it over KJ though. Straight down to Cosmic, but Cosmic just delivers it to KJ. We've got a rule number 2 developed between Cosmic and KJ. That brings it down to a 2v2.
Probably the 2 best players as well on the pitch out the game right now. So still quite even, I would say.
Trying to prove that wrong, going for the ceiling shot, but not really getting anything on it. Matthew Preem. It's on that one. The rule 2.
They've broken it.
I think were they bumped or did someone disrespect?
I have no idea, but I'd be interesting to know who disrespected that one, because, guys, you've been so sportsmanlike to each other, and then you've just gone and done that. Come on. But anyway, the game goes on. 2 minutes 35 left on the clock. Scout Sports still looking for the first goal of the series, and dunks KJ out of the air. Great vision to read exactly where he's playing that one. No chance. And it looks like it was Cosmico who broke the rule 1. No, he says, hey man, I didn't break it. Who knows who broke it? Some drama going on in Rocket League.
We need to check the VAR. This can't go unsettled. That's a big miss on the backboard from Supreme. Zortea getting bumped out, but KJ is going to complete the clear. Now that's going to pitch awkwardly back towards the net. Red's there on the end of that pass, but a little bit behind it. Maybe he doesn't quite have the boost. Cosmic. Well, that touch takes out 2 players. KJ just forced to make the big clear. Stock to himself in the corner. KJ is going to get a free shot, puts it up high. Zortea is not on the end of it. They were in the perfect spot. Supreme has the dribble, tries to get the backflip flick. But sent up high onto the Scout Sports backboard. KJ onto the corner. Good follow-up from themselves. Zortea gets the block on the defense. That's 2 players baited out. Supreme only has to put it on target, but Pred is waiting there. Now Cosmic dribble up the side. KJ doesn't get the block, sorry. Supreme does. KJ doesn't have the boost, tries to find the top corner. Cosmic gets bumped by Pred, but the fortunate pinch from the 2 players on the Scout Sports defense is going to mean Supreme has to dribble that all the way back out. Another defensive mishap working out in favor of Scout Sports. They seem to be bumping each other a lot into these balls. And another pinch as well. I'm getting deja vu here.
Yeah, this game. A minute left. That one comes off the post from Cosmico. Somehow keeps it even, but to be honest, I don't even know what to say in terms of analysis for these 2 teams. They're just going all out like absolute madmen. And somehow we're getting some form of competent Rocket League at the end of it. But there is a lot of whiffs because the speed in this game has just been immense. Now, 35 seconds to go. KJ, not quite too sure what he was after there. He ended up just blocking Zortea's chance of possibly flicking that one. 25 seconds to go. We might have an overtime here. The last one ended in poor fashion for UEA. They are 0 from 3 in any overtimes that they have played tonight.
1 from 4. They did win, I think it was game 5 in that last series in overtime. But that's still not the best result.
They scored with 2 seconds left. Oh my god, they've almost owned goal. Somehow they keep that, and they do indeed go to overtime here. Now the question is, I believe I'm correct, so I'm going to say, can they break this deadlock that they've thrown themselves into or the unfortunate 0% overtime record? That's a good bump to just leave Cosmico back. Great read from him off the back wall, but the Preem had the time. Well, had the patience, but not the time.
No, you have to feel like this is the deciding game, with both teams being on 2 games apiece in this series. This puts them on match point. Both teams are going to want to be scoring this one. Might be playing a little bit more safe, but that's a big demo from Pred onto Zortea. It's going to give Cosmic chance for the ceiling shot. That's on target. Zortea can't get anywhere near. What a goal to put Scout Sports 1 goal away. 1 game away, sorry.
The Preem and Zortea found themselves jumping together in the middle. Well, on top of each other in rotation, I should say. And yeah, interesting. Pred's mouse is broken, we have just been told. Possibly explaining why he's only got the 80 points, but on the same end, Zortea's only brought out 90. Both of them basically getting donuts. So I think we might be having a little bit of a quick break here, as Pred is hoping to either get a replacement or fix the problems he's been having, because being mouse and keyboard You know, I think the mouse is pretty important. I don't really know, to be honest.
It is 50% of the component that makes up mouse and keyboard, so I'd put it up there. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know how broken, because he was still able to play quite convincingly. Just I don't know. It might be able to go on as is, or if he finds a replacement. I don't know how that's going to affect Scout Sports in this game 6.
Yeah,
But
well, we've got a bit of news coming through. Sorry to cut you off there.
I was going to make the same point you are. Carry on.
Well, yeah, in the Southern Final, we are actually heading through to Game 7. Hertz White did get themselves 3-2 up, but they've been clawed back. And Game 7 it is over there. I'm not too sure where it might be. Maybe Scenarius, if he's in, can drop you all a link if you would like to go catch the remainder of that game while we have this quick break. But this one probably should just be going to Game 7 as well, I do think, if UEA can stop throwing the opportunity to go their way.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit more like this is UEA versus UEA in the finals, because they've had a few good chances at a few key moments that they've not been able to capitalize on, or they've just fallen apart in when they're in defense.
Yeah, well, it looks like the issues are been sorted, so we are actually straight back on this a lot quicker than I thought we would be. Game 6 underway. Scout Sports on match point. Only need to win one more. Can UEA stop them and take it down to the final game? We will have to wait and see. And as we were saying, I think it's mainly down to them, but Stock going quickly on this one. Pred with a quick follow-up, but a good save from KJ. However, Stock's been able to rotate quickly.
What a save!
Oh my god, what a save from Supreme. That should have been a goal.
Under it, banks on the goal, banks on the shot going low. That was the only way that he could get a save onto that. To recognize that is nuts from Supreme. And somehow, this is still scoreless. 40 seconds in. And we can confirm that Pred was able to get a spare mouse, so he's not playing with any kind of handicap. So this should be an even match once again. KJ is going to have control of this one up on the wall. Can't get the second hit that he's after. Gave Stock a free shot, but Stock puts it wide. Sortea. To himself. Pred's going to get there first. That's going to pinch back over to the wall. Supreme beaten out by Cosmic. Cosmic's up once again. Tries to drop it off, but can't quite find the angle. And I think maybe Scout Sports playing a little bit too far back, as nobody could get the follow-up.
Possibly, but they are looking so strong right now. They do not. I'd say UEA are fortunate that they've been able to hold out the clean 0 in terms of the scoreline on their net right now, because there's just been so many last-ditch challenges and saves that I think in any other game prior to now they probably would have ended up conceding already. They just look like they finally realized how much this game matters, as this is their last life. They lose this, Scout Sports are your regional northern champions. But if UEA win it, we have the game 7. This is how close this is now.
It's the final I think we were waiting for. It looked a little bit shaky in that it was game number 4, was it?
Yeah,
or game number 3. But
game 4.
Now both teams very much out for blood. More than half the game gone though, and neither team able to draw first. It's a good counter-attack chance there for KJ, but the backflip puts him out of that. It's a big 50. Pred giving that a lot of space. Maybe good comms from the team, knowing that he had a lot of time. KJ can only play that up the wall to Cosmic. Gets the demo onto KJ while he's up there. That's 2 players out of defense, though, for Scout Sports. That's going to be a free shot chance for Supreme. Puts it wide. Tries to get the bump onto Cosmic. Now Pred is going for KJ at the back. Going to put him off, but he stays strong. Manages to avoid it. Good shot chance off the wall for Stock. Pred's going to put that back up to the wall, where Scout Sports have been looking so deadly. Tries to get the follow-up. Almost gets the pinch, but Supreme with the save. And another one is finding its way to the top corner, but Supreme has to make the save. Does so once again.
You can
And
tell how tense
10.
these players are. They have been so many double commits on the back line. The game somehow has remained 0-0 with only 1:30 to go. This one's been just extreme end-to-end stuff, mainly in favor of Scouse Sports. They will feel so hard done by that they haven't yet scored, but this is a big opportunity. They've let fly. Pred puts that one off the post on his own goal line. What a save from him. This is going crazy through. Not yet done, but that is a huge team bump, and KJ says thank you. Gives them the lead. Oh, that's reminders of that Game 7 RLCS Firebird
vibes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's heartbreaking for Scout Sports. They looked so dominant during the majority of this game, but then they just opened up, and UEA were given a free one, but UEA still looking on the back foot. That was a few awkward chances there for them. Fred gonna put that one up high. Cosmic going for the chance, but pre-jumped nicely by Zortea. Supreme's going to send that up the pitch to KJ. KJ gets the shot off. Stock was backwards to it, but still manages to get enough power to make it not easy to score. Now, Zortea whiffs it under Cosmic's hit. KJ puts it up high. Just needs to waste a bit of time, or why not put a second one in? Princey, 2 goals up, 31 seconds left. It's looking like we're going to game number 7.
It definitely is. KJ is actually really fortunate he didn't hit that one wide, because he would have taken an easy goal off the preem there. But indeed, UEA, they rode the storm for the first minute and a half, somehow kept this one clean at the back. And now the 2-goal lead looking like it's good enough if they keep up their defensive play for only these last 15 seconds. We will indeed have the Game 7 that we wanted. We've been begging for at times. It didn't look like it was coming half the time, but here we are. It is now not possible for Scout Sports to score the 2 goals. They might get one on 0 seconds. Zortea says no. We have Game 7. How else could this have gone?
I can't believe it. One single 5-minute game of Rocket League is all that separates these two teams. Both of them have played their hearts out this series. There have been ups, there have been downs. Either team deserves this from this point, and I'm happy with whoever wins. It's been a ride.
I mean, yeah, because we both went against each other on the predictions. This is the head-to-head that's gone the full way between us as well. But you couldn't ask for anything more, really. This series has been so fun. These guys are still keeping up the banter in chat. KJ wants the overtime Justin goal to finish this one off. It's been so good. You've had everything in this. You've had the complete fall aparts of teams. You've had the complete blowouts in the first 2 games for either side. You've had the crazy close fought ones, the super saves, some brilliant shots, and a Game 7 to finish it all off. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. It's too close to call. The server has gone down.
Oh, it didn't for me again. Clearly, I'm just like the lucky one. So
did any of the players from Scout Sports?
No, once again, I am the only one left, so I will make that. Do not worry, guys. Before anyone jumps back in.
Oh, that's going to be a bit of a momentum killer though for UEA. As we've seen, they're an incredibly momentum-based team. Well, they take a little while to get going, so...
Yeah, saying that, there was the little break just before that Game 6, and although, they won that, they looked stuck beforehand. But a few results coming through. The 3rd place match for the regionals between Durham Defenders and Rocket League went 4-2 in favor of Durham. So Durham are your 3rd place team. Congratulations to them. And for the South, it went to the Game 7, and Hertfordshire White take that 4-3. It's a close one, but the higher seeded team takes that. And if we went with higher seeds here, this would be Scout Sports taking this 4-3. But question is, can they do it? They've got 5 minutes. UEA have 5 minutes. They've only got or overtime. You know that is a possibility. I would love an overtime here to finish this off. Like, why not? Why not have everything? But it is what it is. It's down to the players. Can they keep themselves together, or will we have a complete fall apart?
You know, it's interesting you should mention seeding, because I feel like we should mention, we haven't really talked about this. Scout Sports are the #1 seed coming into this this northern bracket. UEA are the 11th seed. They weren't anywhere close to the top finishes in league play, and they're out here taking #1 seed to Game 7. I think that's a proud result for them, no matter the outcome. Now, we're just waiting on, I think it's Scout Sports to rejoin the lobby.
They might just be taking this chance to have their coach chat to them while they can, because he did try and join in on that first one, and I had to tell them, sorry guys, no, not now, not when it counts this much. But I guess they've still got, he can still watch from the stream, so, you know, he can still see everything we can, and he can even hear us, so maybe he's got that bit of advantage to have our analytic minds. I think that's the word. I might just be going off on straws here, but analytic, that's the one I'm looking for. Analytic minds. Never mind, it's over. We're going to Game 7. This is it. Players have 5 minutes to show their worth and show why they deserve to be the Northern Regional Champions.
That's all it is 5 minutes, 300 seconds of Rocket League to decide who is the best team out of the entirety of this Northern League bracket. And both teams, whatever the outcome, they've played their hearts out. They both deserve this. But it could go either way. Sortea trying to get the beat, gets the bump onto Cosmic. That's going to be a slow bouncer in the Scout Sports half. Awkward to deal with, but Sortea does so. Pred put that one nice and high. Sortea have the read down to stock though. Puts it off the crossbar. That was such a good chance for the opener for Scout Sports, but missed out by Pixels.
Oh, Scout Sports have been so unfortunate in the last few games. They've not scored a goal in 6 minutes of Rocket League now. And once again, getting so close, but just can't put it away when it matters most. Maybe the pressure, just finally getting to them. Sortea with a good touch there. That was much needed, but more and more pressure coming out. This one I don't think can be stopped. It's somehow been saved by KJ. Manages to get the 50 on with Cosmic to push it onto the post, but my god, has this been a tense one for UEA to start with.
East Anglia have been in the firing line at the moment. They're taking shot after shot, but there's only so many you can take before Cosmic puts one into the middle of the net.
Oh, breakdown in communication between Supreme and KJ at the back. No one goes onto the ball. Cosmic is first on that. Scout Sports now have the lead, but 3 minutes 27 to go is plenty of time. The only problem for UEA is they've not been allowed out of their half yet.
This has been dominated by Scout Sports so far. That one almost finding its way into the top corner, but thankfully for UEA, not quite on target. That's 2 players up in defense. Sortea has done so much in defense this game so far. Thought he had to do a little bit more. Tap from Stock, tries to find Cosmic, but Cosmic smartly backing off. Good 50 from Sortea. He's going to put that one up high. Nicely read by Cosmic. Supreme's going to put that one into the middle. But KJ just out of position. Cosmic with the counter-attack chance. Sortea's not really back. The bounce off the middle. Pred isn't there. And once again, UEA get away with murder.
They do. But right now, that's a brilliant demo from Supreme. Sortea just had to put that one on net, but he's gone for the hit over the crossbar. He was trying to play the smarter double tap, but when there's no one at home, you don't need that. That's a huge chance wasted after the great demo. Maybe now that just scares Scout Sports a little less. A nice flick. A good drop down as well for KJ.
Oh, what a save from Cosmic. Off the crossbar. Had to get that touch. Had to have enough power on it. But Bit of counter pressure now from UEA. They need to start getting this out of their own half. They only have 2 minutes left to find one more, or else they will be second best. KJ, that one's going to drop down nicely. Dupreme bought out. Zortea goes up for that as well. That's going to be an open net, but KJ, good back rotation. Make sure there is somebody at the back with the challenge. Stock off the backboard to himself. Massive clear from KJ. But I think Scout Sports playing this a little bit safer. Not to err on the side of caution.
Yeah, they want to bait out the opposition. Dupreme! Oh, he hasn't. Somehow manages to put that one back off his post. To be fair, he didn't know too much about that. That was such a close shot to begin with. They get away with a bit of murder there, though. With the clock still counting down, they have a minute 10. Still looking for that goal to tie up the series. This is so close. You do not want to take your eyes off this one.
I can't call this. I know that Dupreme almost own goaled it again this series. That's going to be an open net though for Cosmic. What a whiff from Dupreme. All he had to do was get solidly behind that ball. Oh, that's heartbreaking. UEA now have so much work to do in the last minute of this game.
They do. It's possible. We've seen early switch-arounds where they've looked solid. That's a good kickoff in their favor. Well defended by Stock coming back across the net. They've just got to go all out now. That's all you can do. Zortea with a great shot. Bring it back within one. Still 44 seconds to go. There is still a chance here.
The pass from KJ was too good. Dupreme tried to get the read, but nobody was expecting that big third man, Zortea, to be pushing up that far. I guess you say he has to be in order to get that last goal. And now one goal is all that's needed from UEA to take this to overtime. They've had some good chances this game, but nowhere near the pressure.
Oh, that's the one! No, it's in the post!
I can't believe that's just got posted out for Zortea. It looked like it was in. But now UEA, they're getting so many of these chances. That's going to be bouncing it all the way back to the Scout Sports corner. Zortea doesn't have the read. That's two players pushing up. Dupreme has to turn on this and has to get a big hit, but doesn't. Cosmic's there. Stock.
This is time off the clock.
But KJ getting the hit. That's what
happens. Oh, that was a big opportunity. This is another one. Stock just about gets it off the side.
10 seconds left. I'm being left speechless by this game. I can't talk properly. It's so tense. Now it has to be a 0-seconder for UEA. And the fake!
Not
happened. Fake means Scout Sports will be your Northern League champions of the Spring Split 2020.
What a game 7 to end it off. So many opportunities coming out for either team to either kill it off or bring it back. Zortea's shot off the post. The huge opportunity at the end there. Oh, what a game. What a series of Rocket League. Congratulations, Scout Sports. You are our Northern League champions.
Yeah.
But wow, what a way to take it.
Commiserations to UEA. You played your absolute hearts out in that last game, but look at the shot differences. 13 shots from Scout Sports to only 7 from UEA. It was just all-out offense from both teams. And I know we have to pick a winner, but it came down to one goal at the end of the day.
It basically did, and it could have, probably should have been one goal in overtime. And that'll probably sit in the minds of the UEA players. They had the opportunity at the end. They soaked up so much pressure in Game 6 and 7. Game 6, they worked through it. They got the goals. Game 7, even after going 2-0 down, they hit back so quickly and had the chances right at the end. But commiserations to them, they couldn't quite push through, but what a final. I couldn't have asked for anything more. My voice is going now.
Yeah.
Perfect timing to do so, as that is us done for the night. Wow. Yeah. Time to take a little breather and just understand what we went through, because that game had everything. I was saying it before that last one. Like, we had the whiffs, we had the goals, we had the banter, the players were enjoying it. They were having a great time. That's what matters at the end of it all. we had a great time. Well, at least I did. I know for sure I did. I'm not sure about you, but
Oh yeah, I did as well. I mean, that last series was an emotional roller coaster. Like you say, it had everything. It was like a feature-length film. I felt invested by the end of that, and like you say, my voice needs a break.
yeah, well, this is the end of the Rocket League for tonight, but do not worry, guys, because tomorrow we are back with the Challenger Finals. So these are the guys who are fighting for the positions between 10th and 6th in the UK, as in the best overall teams in the UK, and we between Arctic Foxes, the other Liverpool team, the main Liverpool University side. They are going up against KPA, which is Kiel University. Our boys, respect to you guys. Hope you do the best. And then at the other end of the bracket, we've got Rocketeers, which is Kent University, going up against UOB Just Smile, Birmingham University there. Those should be, on paper at least, better games than what we've just experienced tonight. But we've had some beautiful games, beautiful goals, just all round amazing play. And this is meant to be like the step down from these guys tomorrow. So, you know, if that's anything to go by, it should be even better. And how can you top today? Like, come on.
It's a testament to, we've been saying it all season, we've been saying it since last season, a testament to how stacked the NSE has become. When you can have games like that, and it's not even from National League. Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, stick around for tomorrow, and thank you to everyone who stuck around for this evening.
Yeah,
It's been a ride.
It has. I hope you guys had as much of a good time as I did. But that, sadly, is the end of the stream for the night. I've said this too many times. We've had a great night. So I thank you once again for tuning in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. And I've been Princey.
I've been Drumzos.
Thank you once again, and good night, everybody.